All right, so we are going to start. We're going to give it about a minute. If you're watching this while the video is posted, give it a minute while we wait for people to show up live. We're going to review The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 12. I'm getting the straw poll ready now to put it in the description and then in the comment box so that way you guys can vote. If you're new here, I'm going to do a first impression review. I have some clips of the episode I want to show you. I couldn't get all of them, but that's because AMC did something really funky with their AMC premiere. But let me know if anyone else is having any of those problems. But I'm putting together the poll now. But yeah, I had AMC premiere, and then they told me I canceled it randomly at like 4 in the morning this morning. I was like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I still had 10 days left. Like, I paid the $5. Oh, shit. You know what? Oh, man. That's not going to work. Create poll. Anyhow, so yeah, I had 10 days left. So I had to restart it, and I got in contact with them like, yo, what's going on with this? All right, Season 10, Episode 11. Rate this episode. Really? Did I spell that wrong? We got love, tab, like, okay, meh. Then we got dislike. If you're into the Flaw and All reviews, I just posted the Season 1, Episode 4. Had a lot of fun putting that one together. I think I found a intro I like because I was trying to... For new people, I don't want to have to repeat it all the time. So, you know, anyone can just go back with love, like, okay, meh, dislike, and hate, okay. So I don't want to have to keep repeating it for the Flaw and All reviews. So I came up with this idea to put, well, I took some requests or suggestions from you guys, and I came up with the idea of putting the rules in the video description, and then the intro is just quick and snappy. So if you want to go and look at that, like the specifics when it comes to the rules, if you're interested in those, there's going to be rules in the video description all the time, but there's also going to be, that's the basic set, where I'm also going to do a full video kind of promoting the Flaw and All reviews and then go into detail, because some people think the numbers are random when it's not. We do have a formula, and it goes by scene, and you guys know it's broken down a certain way. Anyway, I put the straw poll in the video description, and I'm about to put it in the comment box, and we're going to get into the first impression review, and then we'll get into your thoughts and opinions on the episode. Let me just kick this off as I pull up the footage. The link is in the comment box right now. Go ahead and vote for this episode. As we get into, or as I pull up the footage, I did really enjoy this episode, but I will admit, as we go into this, because 2 weeks ago or last week, the episode for me was just okay. And people hated that I didn't love it or like it or really like it, which was crazy because I liked it. I thought it was just okay, though, you know. This week, I liked it a lot more. This is probably one of the episodes I liked the most, but I'm not going to bullshit you guys. There's a lot of shit in here that I thought was just filler nonsense to placate the budget, you know. The shit with Earl and the Eugene and Carol and all, Magna and Yumiko and Carol and... you know, all this other filler garbage that they could have just really, you know, ground down and shit something out that was nice and sharpened to the point. But now in order to do this, I'm going to have to pull this down. So you guys let me know if you can see the screen properly. But, yeah, a lot of that. But the beginning, outside of my really wanting just an epic, insane, over-the-top war, what we got was amazing, but we didn't get that. The Whisper War to date didn't live anywhere near my expectations. And especially if you're comparing it to the comic, you're going to be let down because the comic was massive. And that's fine because a comic doesn't have a budget. You just draw it, you know? So that's not even fair. But I'm just saying, if you're a comic fan, you're going to have certain expectations. But still, they had this, I'll show you guys some footage. They had the buildup of walkers Oh, man. You guys can't see the vote. The voting is in the video description. And hold on. Did I not put it in? You didn't like the episode at all. Hold on. Let me put the vote back in. Someone said the vote's not there. Where's my copy link? Go up here. Yeah, I shared it. What are you talking about, Mike? I'm going to share it again. Now, Connie made it. They already came out and said, and this is real stupid, they already came out and said that Connie is off filming something else. The only reason they did this part of the story is so that way she can continue to be alive on The Walking Dead but not be in the story. So anyone worried about Connie, they already came out and explained it. And I'm saying that like it's annoying because they shouldn't have come out and said nothing. They should have just left it up to people to go, oh, what happened? So let me pull this up. I'm going to lower the background right now so you guys won't be able to see the... Hold on, I got to do this right. Just right. You guys won't be able to see the that background, but now you can see the other background. I'm going to pull up the footage. You guys just confirm, because when I do it this way, I'm not able to see if the footage did make it onto the screen. So I'll talk about it a little bit. We're getting into the review now. You guys let me know if you can see the Walking Dead footage. This got me hype as shit, though. And this is what I mean by certain things had a lot more full screen presence and magic in the earlier seasons, because you could take that budget and you have a war. Go watch my Flaw and Awe 104. I just uploaded it today for Vatos. You have these scenes where the action is all in frame. Rick shoots some walker. It's all in frame. No edits. Just he shoots a walker. They use a zip line. They pull the stunt actor back, and he flies into a tent. It's cool. It's funny. It's fun. Shane, you're behind him, and he's going bang, 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 shooting all these. He shoots one zombies. It's all in frame. And then there's another way to film action. And it's a way to cheat it where you film me, I swing, and then you film the walker and his head explodes. Easy, simple. You don't have to take time out to choreograph the fights. You don't have to get where everyone, because for actors, it's not like, okay, run around that tree and shoot at this guy. You have to mark on the ground and where the actors come. They have to hit their mark. Then you got the different lenses you're working with. So there's all this other shit going on. Now, when it comes to the battles nowadays in the Walking Dead, some of that magic, when I talk about being a little let down, that's what I mean. I like seeing Daryl duck and swing the mace and take someone's face off, take another one's face off, one camera edit. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're able to do that for a number of reasons, budget, time, yada, yada, yada. But we still got some really cool shit. One of my favorites was the zombies building up at the door. And another thing to kind of show you guys, give you guys an idea of when I'm watching this, I'm kind of thinking, all right, maybe we'll see one of the fighters and, they're in front of the gates and then we see them move and you get this epic backdrop. You do have some cool backdrops. You do have some cool images. But again, it just doesn't line up the same way when it comes to someone's certain tastes. I think I have more love for the more fluid all-in-one shot. I'm assuming you guys can see the footage, right? Looks fine to me. All right, let's jump on with this. So yeah, the war, I want to let you guys know how much I did love it, but I'm not letting them off the hook. I'm not going to sit here and play around like I didn't want more. I didn't want it filmed a little more crisp, a little more immersive, I think is the better term. But still, I loved it. You know what I'm saying? You got super fast. I'm not going to front because I know some people will be like, oh, but it was too short. I agree with you, but still, you got this place on fire. That I am mad about. They go ahead and put this really bad cliffhanger where our group is trapped, and then they were gonna have Michonne's episode tonight, which I'm glad they didn't do that, because if they did that, I guarantee you would have saw some people that would have been the last straw. You don't play around with your viewership like that. You don't give them this exciting scene and then say, oh, it's not next week. You're going to wait 2 weeks because we're dicks. You don't do that. So they switched them around. So instead of Michonne being this week, we got the continuation of last week. But instead of showing us, all these flaming arrows come over and hit the hilltop and, it's already on fire. So that part was a big bummer because I thought we were going to get this beautiful visual. But instead, last episode, we got like 5 flaming arrows in the sky. And it's like, wow, that's not at all what I thought we were going to get. You got the aftermath. Again, I love it. It's atmospheric. It's brutal. The body's all laying around. They got really good really good effects work with the heads that are on the ground and the backgrounds, even with the jaws moving. I love Negan's little approach here because he's out of the eye of the whispers and he's just like, yeah, what is this goofing off? This is 100% Negan. Now, I was going to talk about, at this point in the time in the comic, I did made a video and I said, yo, Negan is dead. And I was going to put that in the thumbnail now, but I don't got time to really talk about that in full. But Negan is a dead man. Whether Beta kills him or he goes on and lives, he's a dead man. He's not Negan anymore. Now, he's going to still be, portrayed by Jeffrey Dean Morgan and yada, yada, yada. But Negan as a good guy is very different than Negan as a bad guy. And in the comic, Kirkman just ended it, so he didn't have to really worry about what to do with Negan. I do think we'll see a Negan story in the comic continue in a video game or something down the line, maybe in a few years. But so you got this scene where they go in a van. It felt a little rushed, but Gamma goes off, and I'll go at bat for this part of the story because at the time I was like, all right, well, you know what? It felt a little bit rushed, and it didn't feel, I don't know, it's weird. It felt like there was more to her story that was going to play out somehow, and instead it just kind of ended. But at the same time, it was brutal, and we don't need everything that has these big, huge, interwoven story moments that have definitive conclusions. Like where she got to hold her little nephew. She got to have her own little mini redemption arc. It doesn't need to be multiple seasons long. So this is just like a life cut too short in a way. Same thing for a character, but I liked it how it was. So I have where at first I was like, ooh, really too soon? But then I was like, man, it's brutal. It's sad. It was vicious. She tears off his mask. We do confirm he is the celebrity. Everyone knew that. But one of the Whispers recognizes him, and then Beta just kills the dude. You have this brutal image. He waits till she wakes up. And then one of the worst scenes in the history of Walking Dead played. All this is great. She looks great as a walker. Oh my God, fucking amazing. And this was one of the worst scenes in the history of The Walking Dead. I can't even believe they put this to film. You have Beta, the second in command, standing still. Instead of shooting Beta in the back of the head. I must have been typing when I was recording that. Yeah, I guess I was. Oh my God, I can't even believe Greg Nicotero directed this too, bro. You didn't realize that when you were filming? And don't give me that emotional, oh, you know what? He was mean to her and didn't, and then it was a mercy kill. She's a walker. She's not going to get far. Shoot Beta in the back of the head and then clap her. And here's a part of the argument, because then I know people are going to say, but then that's not, what would they say? They would say, but then Beta would be dead too soon. Then don't film it like this. Don't write it like this. And that's the biggest problem. It's harder to say, okay, how can we polish this and make it make sense? There's almost no way to make it make sense. Unless you find a way where Beta is just, blocked. He's trying to sneak around. He cracks, makes a movement. Beta gets startled and hides, but he just decides to take her out before Beta gets off. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? So that was just so fucking dumb. Beta, a free kill. I love this moment, though. Well, this is just... Go through shit. I could care less. But it's like a hit. I don't know. I know the fan base is going to go nuts for it. For me, I just don't care at this point in time. for the first time in the history of watching The Walking Dead, I fast forward an episode. I've never done that. Right here, I just don't give a fuck about Magna and Yumiko because they reunited and then they were like, I can't do this anymore. Like, bitch, please get me out of here. I fast forward the damn thing. I love this little moment. In the comic, Carol committed suicide by Walker, so I feel like this is kind of paying homage to that. But just the way this was filmed, the little hand on her leg. Come on, if I can get it done right. And she just slaps it away. Come on, man. Did I not do that right? Yeah, right here. I love that, yo. So get off me, bum. Yo, that's all fans at conventions. Don't touch me. Get out of here. I'm teasing. She's great. I'm just saying. People get a little too touchy. So we got the Earl stuff. We didn't see him bitten. We didn't have no epic and cool little battle moment. Not everyone needs one, but we're getting less and less. We're getting more and more off-screen stuff, whether it's hits or whatever. I just didn't care. I liked Earl too. Him hitting his head was one where I'm like, bro, why are you doing that? You're gonna kill yourself, but not dead the brain, dead the head, and then you're gonna be a zombie with the kids anyway. And that's exactly what he did. You got Ezekiel waking up out of nowhere, and again, this is in part what frustrates me. We never see how he got there because the budget was not there for that. Again, it's all stupid. Get me the fuck out of here. He rescues the kids. We have a Judith moment. It's heartbreaking. It's sad. I like Judith, so. I just feel like they took way too long getting there. And the Negan and Alpha moment, fantastic. He brings up his wife's bald head with the cancer. We actually have some breakthrough with this one-on-one with him and Alpha. He calls her on her bullshit. She gets some emotions to come to the surface. Now, there's a moment where, and they've done this on plenty of shows and movies where one character's heading to another character and you think they're at the same place, but it's revealed that they're not. So no real points for the originality there, but it's still cool. I don't really think Lydia needed to be there, but it saves her having to see her mother get killed. So I understand. I think it's cool Negan at least saved her from that. But yeah, so here's the reveal. Lydia's like, I'm out of this bitch. She yeets the door open. And then we have this really fake looking green screen. It might not be fake. It just looks it, is all I'm saying. I don't see why they would fake this. That would be kind of weird, but it looks cool. You got a fog. It's clearly nowhere near where Alpha is. Let me see. There's no fog with Alpha, right? Yeah. So Alpha's like, yo, what's up with this? She even does a little, did she escape? What's going on, buddy? And then now, there's a cover, and I'm not going to keep playing these clips. We only show a few seconds, and then we move on. If you want to watch the episode, buy AMC Premiere or buy it on Amazon. I don't know, bootleg, I don't care, but I'm not going to play the footage because this stream will get taken down. There's a comic where Negan and Alpha are holding each other just like this. And in it, I did make the prediction. I was like, it's too early to kill Alpha. So I feel like this should be a mislead because, and here Alpha died in that issue, but it was called like the King and Queen or something. But I do like this moment, seeing what I don't know, it's kind of got this sick villain versus villain. You know, he gives her a little kiss goodbye, lays her down. Again, cool shit. This is outside of the prediction video I made before. I did talk about how I think it would be awesome if he brings, and I was right on the fucking money, no spoilers at all, just straight taking what would be cool for the show and knowing what we know. Negan snatching Lydia, using her as bait. I was wrong about her not being there, but still, using her as bait, lure Alpha out, which now is problematic for, Negan was alone with Alpha before. I wish they did a better job at explaining they were alone, but like right near the camp. I'm sure that's what it was, but they didn't explain that good enough. So he gets her far enough out of the way. Done deal. So, but I made the prediction that she would look and see Carol right before she died, like right after Negan slits her throat. Carol's there, maybe walks out of the cabin, and listen, I'm gonna be real with you. I think I would bust a nut if that happened. And again, it was a fan going, what would drive me crazy to see? It wasn't like a writer going, I can write better than you. I don't know why, because I published a comic. I always get those type of I'm speaking like I always do as a fan. What would make me bust a nut if I saw that on screen? So, yeah, I still think this is bomb as shit. You know what I mean? Hadn't I thought of that idea and got excited for something like a type of, like a Godfather death. But Negan throws the head, and here's one of the big reveals, which is going to get problematic. I loved it. I'm sure a lot of you were going to like it. It was a bit, it's borderline a bit iffy, because I've been noticing the writers are doing this more and more, where instead of writing something clever to mislead the fans in an organic way, they just don't it's all off screen, so that way no shit, you didn't see it coming. It's one of the easiest, and it is the cheapest way to do a reveal. In this case, I don't really mind. Dante was another example this season, before anyone goes, oh, they don't do that much. No, it's getting more and more. And I really hope that after this season, okay, let's integrate it more into the story, where you as a viewer, you're watching it and you're still in the unknown. And then when it happens, you can actually go back and go, oh my God, I should have pieced it together because of this and this and this. When it's all off screen, you don't have those, that rewatchable second look fun at how certain scenes play out. Anyway, so
long enough.
I don't know how well you guys can hear that, but she said took you long enough. I already know some people are going to go nuts with Carol getting people almost killed repeatedly when she knew she had an inside guy. Now, I will say, she wasn't really communicating with him the entire time, so she didn't know how, soon he would get the job done. Maybe she could get the job done, and he was like a maybe he can do it. You get what I'm saying? There was one problem. Someone messaged me and said, wait a minute, Negan didn't want to go near the Whisperers when he first got out, and then once Brandon killed that family, he said screw it and went in there. And at first I was like, yeah, you're right, it's stupid, it's usual bullshit, that weak writing. But then I thought about it and I was like, wait, no. Let's be fair here. Let's say that he didn't know Brandon was an ass. So when Negan got out, he didn't want Brandon to go near the Whisperers, because obviously, and but he knew the whole time he would eventually make his way there. But that's when they ran into the family and yada yada yada. So he was basically, playing it by ear, see how it plays out. And then when Brandon snapped, he said, screw it, now I can go do my mission that Carol released me for. So just throwing that out there, because I did get a lot of comments from people saying, hey, this doesn't line up now. I'm sure most of it will line up. But yeah, we got some badass visuals with the war. It isn't long enough. I know. It isn't as, I get it. In the middle part, I don't really care for much. I do like the Gamma. In a way, it's short, sharp, heartbreaking. You know what I mean? It's sad. It has its little mini conclusion. I dig it. Beta's a beast. And then the stuff with Negan and Alpha, I loved. Even the ending. Can we pick out things and say I would have liked it a little bit better here? But still, as it is, thoroughly enjoyed the episode. I still don't think it is downright insanely amazing. I seen a lot of comments that said best episode in the series. And listen, if that's where you're sitting, that's fine. Cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it so much. I don't think it even comes close, but it is definitely up there. It's high up on my personal list. Best for the whole series, though, there's just no way. I know there's some episodes, for me personally, where I enjoy almost every second of the episode. For this, I love the beginning, I love the end, I love the part with Gamma in the middle, but pretty much anything else, I'll fast forward. I just don't care, especially the Magna and them. But definitely a solid episode for tonight, for sure. let's go to the fan chit chat. Where's my screen here? Let's go to the fan feedback, see what you guys have to say. Oh yeah, that's right. I got to bring this up. I hate having to do it this way, but let's bring this up. Let's get rid of this. And I'll pull the chat over so you guys can see. Let me pop out the chat so you guys can see the chat. And Mind of the North Star with a $5, wait, we were going to call it something. $5 life support. We were going to call it something else. We were coming up with clever names for donos. I don't know. I'm going to call it life support, though, until we come up with something better. Mind of the North Star. Your prediction was slightly better, but I am fine with Mob Boss Carol calling shots. They did a better job with this than I was expecting. There you go. Awesome. Thank you very much for the compliment. If you are someone out there who does like some of the ideas I do come up with, check out doomsdaykingdom.com. Just to let you know, we are gearing for a big, we don't know with the coronavirus, I don't know yet, but we are gearing for a big promotion with issue 5 of Doomsday Kingdom, as well as volume 1. That's coming up soon. I am so hyped because volume 1 is a good, solid, but a lot of it is set up. Volume 2 is where we can get into some of the off-the-walls, bananas, craziness. There's, all I can say is coming up in Volume 2, we got a 1930s looking prohibition gangster with a Tommy gun in a mass grave. There's fireworks. There's a little bit of rain with zombies. That's only part of one scene. It's going to be fucking nuts, Some of it sounds weird, but I'm telling you, it's not as weird as it sounds. Let's go to the live chat. And are you guys voting? Let me put the straw poll down in the comment box again. I did try to put it in the video description, but I'm not really sure if it made it up there. I do want to, if I can take a minute just to, I do want to show you guys something. If I could take a minute just to show you something. For those who don't know, I started a series a little while back called Flaw and All Reviews, and I got this little intro I like. A playlist for previous Flaw and All reviews can be found in the top right-hand corner. And for those interested, a basic breakdown of the rules can be found below. Welcome to Flaw and All Reviews, where we rate and rank the movies and shows we love and hate. I wanted to come up with something simple to give people the idea over and over, and then in the description box, excuse me, we break it down. But I was thinking at Flaw and All Reviews, because we rate and rank, it's movies and shows, and it's about ones that we love and hate, not just ones we love. So that's a quick, snappy little intro. This right here is a temporary thing where I'm going to be on camera, hopefully soon, doing the intro, and then a little bit throughout the reviews. But if you're unaware of the Flaw and All Reviews, we're going back, looking at The Walking Dead. There's one funny little thing I put in here. Well, you guys probably wouldn't find it funny, but we do a counter, and we just do a little counter for the good and the bad in the episode, and then at the very end we come up with a cinema score for that counter. So it's a lot of fun. I'm at a weird place right now since it's sort of new. I'm really trying to bust my ass to get people to know it's out there. We have we don't have a lot of people searching right now for early Walking Dead reviews, but again, this is something it's beyond just like a review. We are breaking down everything that's good and bad and kind of coming up with a score where we can rank the episodes afterwards. So if you are looking for something where we rate each episode, we review it, and then we rank them, and it's all in one as it goes, we'll rank every single episode. When we're done, the plan is with each season, we're going to do a plot overview where we take the entire plot for each individual seasons and we kind of break it down into the main plot strands so you can kind of see what pushes the story through. each major season, and kind of how much is like this really thick plot or really fine little veins that just sneak their way through. All right, we have Austin Kane with $5 life support. Who do you think is going to kill Beta, and do you think his death will be better than the comics? When will we get paperbacks for Doomsday Kingdom? We were just about to make an announcement at the end of this month. However, with the coronavirus, there might be some things that are going to back us up. We got to touch base with some people that, like, for example, like printers, just get some confirmations, just see how things are going to play out, and we might be able to stick on course. But let's say that's not an issue really soon. Well, the campaign for the Indiegogo for the paperbacks is going to open really soon, and it'll be open for about a month, I would say. A month, maybe. I don't really want to do too long. And then we're going to rock and roll, because this is going to be one of our first big projects. We've also been talking with some Comicsgate people. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a little consumer movement who's really just trying to get out there and band together and help promote each other. So we're going to try to get some interviews locked in and do some heavy promotion coming up. But stay tuned. Real soon we're going to get an announcement for that. But who's going to kill Beta? This is a tricky one. Normally I'd say Daryl, because we need something that's one of the higher ups. You don't want it, like in the comic, it was so bad. It was just so bad. Beta just shows up in the middle of the woods and someone shoots him dead, and that's it. After the war, after everything, I don't know. Called the Blood Bank. I'm trying to come up with something. I've said this previously too, where it is, I don't know how to say it, but it has to have a certain word. Like, it has to roll into it. Anyway, like if we say the $5 blood bank, like, you get what I'm saying? It just doesn't have, I don't know. It just doesn't, it doesn't ring the same off the tongue when you say it like that. Austin, but thank you for the idea. I'll ponder it in my head. Austin Royale with a $5 dono. So Magna and Connie are alive. Magna used the whore to make it back home, which I liked. My question is, where the hell did Connie go? We talked about that previously. She's filming something else, so this is just an excuse to keep her maybe out for a few episodes, or probably for the rest of the half. I don't know. Either or. But I do believe when she shows up, she'll probably just break away, and she'll be found somewhere along the lines coming up, you know? Well, which subscription gives you the most money? I heard YouTube memberships take a lot. I might cancel it and join Patreon. Well, here's where it gets tricky. If you were like, yo, Ronnie, which is going to help to keep the Flaws and Aws up and running? I'm going to be real with you. It's Patreon. YouTube takes way too much. YouTube takes like 40% of what you support. So if someone donates, you know, let's say we have people donate $500 on Patreon, I'm probably going to get like 400 and change. You know what I'm saying? Like 450 or up. You know what I'm saying? But if they donate 500 on YouTube to keep the videos going, I'm getting like $300 out of that. Or like, you know, I say that, yet when I got mad donations for that 24 stream, they took almost half. So I don't know. And you can't fight them. What are you going to do? So they straight took almost half, which, again, I don't understand it. People tell me it's only 30%, but fuck out of here. I got the receipts. But yeah, to keep it going, it's going to be Patreon. Now, when we do live streams, if people want stickers and they want the YouTube membership stuff, there's no other way than to do memberships. But I'm thinking about pumping up the Patreon for the campaign to keep the videos going, and then knocking or adding a $1 tier to the YouTube memberships, so that way people can support where the money is needed, but then for the special member only, we can knock it down to $1. So that way we can do the stickers still. You can do all the benefits of doing the membership. You get what I'm saying? Because, again, the idea isn't to suck money out of you guys. The idea is to fund the Flaw and Awe reviews utilizing Patreon, because it's the best avenue at this point in time, but then utilize the stuff that is the membership stuff, that YouTube only stuff, but not set it at ridiculous prices. So that's something I'm going to be doing moving forward. You reminded me, too. I did want to lower that. Trippy Hipster with a $5 dono. Thank you very much. See what I mean? Like, with coming up here, Nicole Polisky with a $10 blood bank. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. It doesn't have that same ring as what I'm looking for, but I'll take any and all suggestions. I still like life support, but I'm probably just stupid. Anyway, with a $10 dono, Nicole said, Vatos Flaw and Awe made me nostalgic, and I started rewatching The Walking Dead. I am loving them. What is next with the movie Flaw and Awe? Next is Dawn of the Dead. I will put a little warning out there. We did do Patreon polls for what to do next, and it was the Dead series. I'm going to start funneling in some more Patreon polls. However, I think I'm going to have to do the polls, but throw in some surprise movie flaw and ahs, because, like, for example, some of the older movies are just not being searched. So I'm going to have to jump into some new movies once in a while, and just to get, like, that burst of people recognizing we're doing this review series. We just need the exposure. We just need people to jump aboard and, you know. I got excited when Beta got recognized by that random whisper. Oh boy. What are your thoughts, Ronnie? Well, see, that's a tricky one, because I don't think it does anything. I know it seems like it's an exciting thing. Maybe I'm missing it, but it doesn't do anything. It's just people recognize him, that's all. You get what I'm saying? I might be a party pooper when it comes to that, but I don't understand what it does to anything. He was famous, he's not now. He's going to die, and it'll probably never play into the story. So I think it was a way to... Oh, and Negan said Frowny McTwo-Knives, and that's great because it's from the comic, but I was wondering, why the fuck did they not write that when he had his knives out? Some of that shit leaves me at just like a what? You guys are having issues with the straw poll? Let me see here. Who's having issues with the straw poll? I'll put it in the comment box again, and I'll click on it too to see what's up with that. Here's your straw poll. I got it immediately. Are you guys having issues with it? Look, I clicked on it and it popped up immediately. So, anyone else having problems with the straw poll? And I like the episode. The Whisper of War wasn't as magical as it should have been, but minus some filler with Earl, but I like the episode. Are you taken because I'm totally put a ring on your finger? I appreciate that. No, I'm not taken though, but that'd probably be difficult because that is by choice. Some have tried, some have failed. I'll be straight with you. I'm nothing special. I just work way too much. I can't do a commitment currently. I was hoping the show would reference the Whisperer's sexual abuse of women and added Negan's hatred of Alpha's leadership. I know it's a TV, but it could have been done. I got that out of my system. I knew they wouldn't have the balls for it. Now that I'm doing flaw and all reviews for older zombie movies, just watching Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead over again, they're from the 70s, man. You know, the 70s and 80s, 78 and 85, I think, respectively. And just watching them, as old as they are, they still blow Walking Dead out of the water when it comes to the gore. Now, Walking Dead has moments where it is gory, but just knowing, and again, it's not hate on Walking Dead, it's they just can't because it's on TV, which again, it leads me to that, why the fuck aren't they, and this isn't something where I'm pointing the finger, I genuinely want to know, is there a way, is it feasible to add extras, some cursing, some vicious gore, like do the guts ripped out, and just don't have that in the TV edit? You get what I'm saying? Maybe it's like it's too expensive to do two different edits. I don't know. Call it a $5 shot of hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is essentially part of living. Yeah, I feel you. I just don't like the word hemoglobin. Again, I think I'm being picky with it, but I just want something to have a certain ring to it. What are your thoughts on Father Gabriel? Well, he wasn't in this episode, and we didn't learn anything new, so my thoughts are the same. I'm digging them. Ronnie, did you hear 70% of Naughty Dog developers are leaving after The Last of Us 2? Naughty Dog stressed them out over Last of Us 2. I heard the developers would do 8-hour overtime for no pay. Bro, listen, I come from workers that got treated like dogs. So when I hear stories of people working overtime, I'm like, yeah, well, at least you weren't getting your fingers chopped off. For anyone who doesn't, I worked in fabrication. Anyone who works in fabrication, it's probably a lot safer now. But I know years ago, you had like an 80% chance of just losing a digit. And it was like nothing. It was like you're working with people with stubs, and it's like you're expected to lose a finger, you know? I almost died myself. I got sliced up, scarred up. I've been to the hospital. So, yeah, overtime, no pay. I mean, I've been there, bro. No one's crying for me. I get it's hard, it's stressful, but so are a ton of jobs. At least it's not physical labor. I will say though, no, I haven't heard about that, and I'll look into some of the details and what's going on behind it. But I do know sometimes I hear certain stories, and when it comes to the entertainment industry, I do think there's horror workplaces, like nightmare workplaces. But 70% of them feels like little bitches who just need to shut the fuck up. And, when you get fired from a factory, no one gives a fuck about you. You get fired from entertainment, you go to Twitter, you got a job next week. Like, get the fuck out of here. But I'll look into that story. I will. And if there's genuinely, like, some really shitty stuff, I'll admit it. But I think a lot of people just want to cry because they're little bitches. They're bitch made. They're not made for the workforce, In the factories, man, you're going home, you're done with your shift, and your boss says, listen, no, we need you to work 4 more hours. You got to pick up your kid? Fuck it, quit, quit or get a babysitter. Oh, you got to do this or that? You got to go to the hospital? No, you're staying. I want to make sure I hit all the donos. Dylan Voorhees with a $2 dono. I'm back. Is Michonne gone now? She's not. She's going to be in next week's episode. Can you send congratulations to new members? Did you see something pop on screen? Can I? Oh, you know what? I think I'm supposed to click on something. Sorry about that, brother. I'll try to remember. I forgot you could do that. Who or what is your favorite horror movie / franchise? Mine is Halloween and Michael Myers. That's a tricky one. I think when it comes to... I tell you what, we'll know for sure with the Flaw and All reviews, but it was Jason all growing up. But it's a fight between Jason and Freddy. Excited when beta recognized by that random whisper. Oh boy, what are your thoughts? I get you. I need something you can say without thinking about it, pretty much. Something nice and easy. Well, yeah, it's something nice and easy, but it also has to roll off the tongue a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if anyone says I fucking love the governor. Yeah, the governor. Oh, we got someone spamming the chat. We got any Joe Cool. I think I can, if you guys can't kick him out. Yeah, you gotta love YouTube. Here's someone who's already been banned on the channel, and they're allowed to spam the channel. Fucking YouTube. It was always a mess. Austin says, have you read the zombie manga, I Am a Hero? It's strange but touching zombie story. I didn't read it, but I did, or at least I think I did. I watched whatever was on Netflix. That was on Netflix, wasn't it? I could have sworn one was on Netflix. BK Born 8315 with a $10 dono, just showing support. Thanks for the live stream. Need more gaming streams ASAP. I would love to jump into some. Maybe we will test some waters and play around with some coming up. But right now, I'm solely focused on getting as much editing done with the Flaw and All reviews. And it seems like there's always something popping up. I know with just the coronavirus alone, everyone knows how that's just messing with stuff, messing with people. So, for me, they got a few things jacked up. I know my daughter doesn't have school for a few weeks because of it. I don't know how much worse it's going to get. I was in a live stream and Six Bots showed up, laugh out loud. Coronavirus situation. Well, I mean, it's I don't have thoughts that are that sweeping to cover all of it. You know what I'm saying? All I know is it's pretty damn crazy. For when it comes to research for my comic, it is, oh my God, it's like the gift that keeps giving, because there's so many different ideas that I'm pulling from it. One thing that was amazing, though, or kind of creepy, was you can block by tapping on a name. Isn't that what the 3 dots are for? Fucking YouTube. Are you serious? I'll try that. But in Doomsday Kingdom, it is almost identical, man. It starts in a place and then it slowly, seeps in. People start panicking, and we get to see it from the perspective of people in the quarantine zones, and then people who are outside of the quarantine zones. So utilizing some of that as like research has just been amazing. Did you know Kingdom Season 2 is on Netflix? I'm hyped. I heard about it, but I haven't checked it out or looked into it yet. Yeah, I understand people can't forgive Negan for killing Glenn. It makes sense. Mine is only Michael Myers because he's not a superhuman, never-dying villain. Although he never does die, he's just a human, which makes it more scary for me. I will say you're absolutely out of your fucking mind. What do you mean? He gets shot so many times and lives. But on the flip side, I will agree, he's only supposed to be human, but they fucked that up. But as far as the new 2018, yeah, he's supposed to be human. And as far as even the remake, I got to try to remember, he is supposed to be just human. But Loomis shoots him 6 times and he's just like up and walking around. Like, they ruin it. However, off the concept, I will agree with you. I love when they're human. For me, I love the concept of Jason Voorhees, but I always had it in my mind he would be scarier if he was human and not this mythical. They fucked themselves by doing. They screwed themselves just by the origin. But moving forward, I want Jason to be a human, not for an ultimate remake. I like the Never Hike Alone, Ghost Chase. I like that for a little appetizer, but when I get my main, Jason movie, I want him to be human. I have a script that I think is fucking phenomenal for Friday the 13th, but I'm deconstructing the script and I'm utilizing some of it to an original script, so that way, if I ever am able to put it into a book, I can have the rights for the character. It's an original, and I think I have the bomb. You know how you got Ghostface, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, like Jason, everyone's with these iconic images. Well, how many more can you get? You can get the Babyface. There's so many other ones you can get, but, the more and more we put out, the harder it gets to pick something that has this iconic look. And I think I got an idea that connects back to like the 70s and 80s slashers that's never been done before and has an iconic but creepy as fuck look to it. And I'm excited. It goes into that book, the horror book I want to write this year, the anthology. Well, glad to have you back, Mist. I'm in North Carolina too. I've had some stores I've been in where the shelves are wiped out, but then I've also went to Dollar General and they're stocked so tight. There's boxes of toilet paper lining the floor. So I think it's hit or miss right now. Hopefully they'll do a restock and people will just calm the hell down, How excited were you when Negan was walking behind Alpha? I was pretty hyped. I knew it was coming, but it was still exciting. Darko77 with a $10 dono. See, even life support, with a $10 life support, it doesn't have the ring I'm looking for, but I just thought it was funny. How will Negan fit into the storyline now? Daryl wants to kill him, but he was with Carol. I think that's what makes it more interesting. Having Negan do what he did, though, that's going to go a long way. And this is part in what I mean by Negan is dead, because the comic didn't need to deal with it. The comic just ended, and it took Negan out of the story, and it just ended, because you can't bring Negan back in. You could, but it's just not going to fit as clean having Negan and Daryl buddy. Again, they can grow a bond. They can grow this understanding, go on a run, help each other, get each other's back, but you can't ever connect that. And again, you could, but you shouldn't. It should always be this obstacle in the way of a serious friendship, knowing their backstory and their history together. And I think that's what makes it more compelling and more sad in a way. If Negan does go above and beyond redemption, but we all know he can't ever get there because of what he did and because of the history, I think that adds so much more to it. If you want some research, you should check out Contagion. I have that movie. It's pretty similar. I think I already suggested that. Yeah, I have it. I've watched it, but you can never have enough, especially real life stuff, you know. It's great to pull. And again, it's the little things. But I think we're doing pretty good with Doomsday Kingdom. I remember in issue 3, the characters got like this national alert. Well, for them, it was only a county alert, but it was on all cell phones, no matter what make or whatever. And I remember a while back, there was something, I forget, I think it was like a federal test, and everyone got like this alert on their phones. And I thought it was so cool because it was something I wrote before I even knew. This is something I wrote like 15 years ago, before I even knew people would have smartphones, and I didn't even think people would have like a computer on their phone and watching digitally. It wasn't even something that I thought of. It was something where I thought phones would have just this little system in it to be able to communicate. But again, it's weird because it's partly what we do now, but it's nowhere near what we do now. But it's just so funny having something that was futuristic at the time I wrote it, and then 15 years later, it's our phones are way beyond that futuristic type of, capabilities. Why would they have the war besides the opening minutes off screen? Carol shooting arrows at a horde, and no walker attacked anyone from the hilltop. They just growled and stood in place. Well, I'm not really sure what specific question you're asking, but I will try my best to answer it. And I've said it over and over again, and I know some of y'all know what I'm about to say. Budget. I mean, the budget, bro. It's 100% the budget. Alpha Death was so fucking cool, man. I thought it was a great episode, and I can't wait for Carol to show Alpha's head. That I'm curious about. I want to know how they go about doing that. Still calling it Negan and Daryl versus Beta. He will be out for Negan. That's something I talked about a long time ago. I'm still up for that. I talked about Negan helping Rick at the time fight Beta, and then Maggie shows up just as they united to defeat him, to defeat and then you see Rick and Negan fighting side by side, and Maggie shows up, and it's kind of like this, maybe Rick has to save him or at least push him out of the way from getting shot. I don't know. She already did her thing, though, so this was an old prediction. Still, in the chat. Thoughts on Scream 5? I love the Scream, obviously, in concept. I had a lot of fun with the first one when it came out. A lot of fun with the series as a whole, but I don't give a shit. Especially if they try to change the mask, I'm out immediately. I mean, how about that mask for the MTV? Oh my God, that was so bad. Was Andrea's comic death wasted on Earl, or will that happen to someone else? I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I mean, other than the fact they were both bit, they have nothing in common. I mean, nothing at all. I mean, you could probably put certain aspects, but that's not even close. I think for it to be an adaptation, in my eyes, it has to have similarities. It's just a bite. It has to have them with a loved one, them slowly dying. And it's just like an impossible situation where you just got to sit and wait and spend time with them until they die. And again, this has part of that, but not at all like that context. I don't even think they need to do Andrea's death on the show because it doesn't make sense for the show. You probably don't remember, but thank you more. The advice on my channel. I grew 4 subscribers since you gave me the advice. Thanks again. Oh, I remember the advice. It was fun. It was good times. I like tearing people down to give them like official good advice, you know, because people are too beaten around the bush with it. Listen, there's ways to do things and there's ways not to do things. Do you want advice or do you just want me to make you feel better? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. How about a dog origin story bottle episode? Let's start a petition. Let's not. All right. He's nowhere around. The budget can't afford the dog. Not for the back half. Where do you think Michonne's storyline is going? It's going, gone. Her storyline is just to get her out of here. The TV series Scream Mask looked like Gloria. That's what I said. It was a blow-up doll. It's crazy. Loved the Negan and Alpha praying mantis decapitation foreshadowing. Yibbers. How is Chibi doing? It's nice to have pets during this time. Kind of funny how pets have no clue what's going on in the world. It's a bit therapeutic. Chibi's chilling. I've come to the conclusion, like, I don't know, it's weird. I like the way cats look. You know what I mean? They got a cool look to them. They're graceful. I'm nice to the cat. The cat will come right up and cuddle on me, but I'm not a cat person. I don't want to own a cat. I don't want nothing to do with a cat. I can't stand the hair. The hair goes everywhere. And it's not just like hair clings on the couch and clothes and this and that. I even bought a special thing to cover the clothing so that way I can try to protect as much as possible. But you got hair that will just like go into nooks and crannies and build up, and forget dusting. You got to rip your whole house apart and scrub every little area, and then you do it again 2 weeks later. It's, oh my God, I hate cats, bro. I don't find anything therapeutic. Opening minutes of 10:13. Where was that? Oh, here it is. I forgot. I want to show you guys something. Wait, where did I put it at? Oh, here it was. A little sneak peek from this video I just posted. Flaw in all reviews.
From that day on, if I was going somewhere, I was running.
Instead of jumping right into conflict, I got a kick out of that. Anyway, yeah, that was stupid, but anyhow, Flaw in all review, Vatos, episode 104, fantastic. They should use bicycles. I think that would, again, these are things that would freshen it up a bit. We have people on horses. Throw some bicycles there. Have some, riders, and I don't know. Have like, I don't know. We're not going to get into it. But I think it would be better. I think it would be best to incorporate some things that they're not doing or using, So where the Hilltop group going? Oceanside, I would imagine. If you can fight an entire horde, why would they run from 4 walkers? Did you notice the walkers never tried to bite anyone, even when they were really close? What are you talking about? Are you talking about what 4 walkers? Do you wish we would get more on how they got split in the groups at the end of the battle? We didn't even see what happens to Luke. Yeah, see, all that shit goes into I file all that. When I'm talking about not seeing things clearly and everything off screen and everything broken up, like and I hate with a passion when TV shows and movies do this shit, where the episode ends one way and then when it begins, it's nowhere near where it ended. And what I mean by that is last week they were blocked off by fire. You know what I mean? Returning back inside. The hilltop wasn't on fire yet, but this week, not only are they not blocked off, but now they're blocking the entrance off, and behind them it's all on fire. There's only one culprit for this, and I know some of y'all hate when I keep bringing it up, but it's the budget. They don't have enough budget. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to put their money into the budget. They want to keep it as profit. And that's the biggest thing that's killing the Walking Dead show. The budget. And I love discussing the budget because it's so interesting. There's a breaking point. I know some people say it's the writing, not the budget. Budget doesn't matter. Budget doesn't count. And this is something that I have kind of said in the past, but you're using it all wrong. And I will admit, a lot of times I don't come out, right and wrong. And it's all opinions and your different tastes. But you're flat out wrong if you think writers are solely in control of how enjoyable an episode is and budget has nothing to do with it. Because The Walking Dead season 1 got made for a certain amount of money. If you gave them $50,000 to make the same thing, they would never have been able to do it. Budget does matter. Now, where it gets to the point where it's not up to the budget, it's up to the writer, that's where you either have the money, you close to having the money, or you have more than you need, and the story's just bad. The budget's not going to save bad writing. But if I'm going to make a movie tomorrow and I have $0, nothing I write when it comes to what you need, zombie epic, post-apocalyptic epic, nothing you write is going to make up for what you have to do. They need an epic war. So again, it comes down to not having the budget for these moments. If you had a chance, would you prefer Doomsday Kingdom to become a show, movie, trilogy, or video game? See, that's tricky. I don't know, because video game would be so fun, and I would love, oh my God, I would be so excited to do a video game. I already have a storyline that connects to the main story already prepped if we were ever able to do a video game. Again, originally Doomsday Kingdom was supposed to be a novel, a movie, a video game. It was supposed to have 5 stories over all these different platforms. So I kind of cheated in a way, but I rewrote the whole video game story, so that's all new. But again, it's tricky because movie would be, you got the budget, you can do rated R. I mean, that's tempting. I don't think it matters. I would say a video game because then it could be mine. If it's a movie, I'm selling the rights. If it's a show, I'm selling the rights. No one's going to partner with me. I'm nobody. You get what I'm saying? So I would pick video game. Do you wish we would got more on how they... Oh, I already talked about that. Yes, I would. Horror movie hustle. I'm sorry. I didn't even hear a notification for that. Did I miss something, and did Laura die? Yes, she did die. I was going to reach out to her and see if she wanted to chat a little bit. Do like a little mini interview. But yeah, she did die. I still love a lot of aspects of the show, but maybe because I'm not as invested, I maybe missed it or forgot. No, you missed it because it was a terrible death scene. It was partially off camera. Beta picks her up. We hear like something, and then he sets her down gently, and her head is smashed, or there's a line of blood on the floor. So you didn't miss nothing. It was terribly done, and I feel bad because fuck, man, it was such a terror. And I will never bring this up. If she happens to check this out, or if anyone tells her, hey, holla at your boy, I would love to chit chat. I'd probably hit you up as soon as I get some time. But I would never bring this up. I would just be like, yeah, I wasn't happy with how she went out, but because I don't want to rub salt in the wound during like an interview, but I think they did her dirty. And to be real, my first, when I found out she was dead and that was her death scene, my immediate thought was, who'd she piss off? Because that was just, what? I feel like they had it filmed, but it got messed up somehow, and they couldn't refilm it. You get what I'm saying? Because that just was weird. All right, I didn't do the straw poll. Someone just put it in the comment box. I'm going to do that right now. I'll put the link in the video in the comment box one last time. That Forrest Gump shit was as funny as fuck. Rick just runs... Yeah. Make a whole video on that alone. Use every Rick running scene. It was a weird beginning. Jumped around so much. Then was jumpy after the fight. Just appeared as next day. Exactly. We didn't see how they got back in Hilltop. I despise AMC Premiere. It's literally impossible to avoid spoilers for big episodes. I was technically spoiled. Oh, yeah. Yo, I made up my mind. AMC Premiere feels like AMC says, you don't want spoilers? Fuck you, pay me. Because that's what they're doing, man. When I did my video on what I think is going to happen in The Walking Dead next, as soon as AMC Premiere aired, people, one after the other, oh, I just watched it, this happens. And then you get some people who AMC aired, they just happen to predict what's going to happen. They're like, I don't think that'll happen, but I think this will happen. And it's beat for beat what exactly happens. And AMC aired it, the episode, like 30 minutes ago. But yeah, you can go to my comment section. As soon as AMC premieres, every single Walking Dead post I see on social media, it's just people who says, Earl gets bit, Judith kills him. It's not even like they're trying to have a conversation. They're literally posting the spoilers. Some of them are so pathetic that they think I don't know, they think they have like information that a lot of other people don't have. There's like hundreds of thousands of people who have AMC Premiere, bro. There's like 200,000, I forget the numbers. You're not special. I'm not special. I watch it every Friday night. Well, I watched it on Saturday because I couldn't fuck with it on Friday. It was weird beginning, jumping around. Tristan said The Walking Dead has a massive budget. Laughed my ass off. I disagree. I would love for him to show and prove that, but I do disagree. Respectfully disagree. What's the point of Oceanside? I think they're just kind of lingerers. I still watch the show, but it's not the same as it used to be. I find myself getting so bored and saying what the fuck so much while watching. Sometimes seems about drama that walkers. Again, XL, that's the budget. The budget is not there for the moments they need to really knock your socks off. Yeah, Robert, yo, that is funny. HBO had the money for Game of Thrones, the final season, and the writing was terrible. AMC could use the budget, and they actually are, if you look at what they're working with, the writing's not bad. They hit problem areas, but it's not bad. It's just not exciting. You know, a lot of it's not fresh, a lot of it's repetitive, but when they're on point, I mean, they're on point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, HBO had the budget, but no writing. AMC, it's the budget. They dip their own partners and actors in the show. You think they won't jip us? Yeah, right. So why is the budget not enough? Well, all right. I'm actually shocked. No offense. You even asked that. Did you see what they needed to do in this episode? First off, the horde that Alpha commands is tens of thousands of walkers. Where do you think they're getting that? Hundreds of them need to be physical, living people, and then they CGI the rest. First off, CGI is a lot more expensive than people realize. Good CGI. I mean, really good, solid CGI is a lot more expensive. You want to see shit cheap CGI? Go back and watch the deer from season 7. You want to see some dog shit CGI? They need really good CGI. This is big. This is huge. You have thousands of zombies attacking. There's fires. You have the choreography. And I think this is what some people just, they don't even think about. And I know, I get it. I watch behind the scenes stuff, so that's how I know it. You get what I'm saying? I'm into and I'm interested in the behind the scenes, and I'm interested in filmmaking, so I look at all the different avenues. But if you're just watching, you probably just assume, oh yeah, yada yada. If you have a intense fight, right? They need to be able to pay for the choreographer or people to practice and rehearse it, and then they can teach the leads who are going to do the fight. And sometimes they need to study the fight for meet up and study and go over it and train it for 3 to 4 days. Sometimes it's maybe 2 days, 3 days. And I'm giving you examples of how it's done. That's not free, bro. So when they're doing the show, if there's an episode with no fights whatsoever and you have a certain budget And now you're incorporating these fights, choreography, CGI. You would have the weapons CGI'd and yada yada. Now you're adding on to all these other expenses. Bro, what do you mean, what do they need to budget for? You know? Horror movie hustle with a $5 dono. Did I miss something? Okay, I must have backed up. Sometimes I back up to try to get everyone's comments. That was ridiculous that Alden didn't just straight up shoot Beta. Yes, it was. They promoted Scott Gimple. To me, he was the best writing. He had some pretty solid stuff. Someone tried to spoil an episode by replying to me on one of your older videos, but I had already seen the episode, just so I laughed. That happens all the time, and it's fucking crazy. And again, that just adds more reasons why it's just not the same. Not just watching it, but doing videos for The Walking Dead. It's just not the same. And I would love, in a perfect world, and I'll be real with you guys, in a perfect world, I can just review the new episodes of whatever this season, you know, the World Beyond, anything they're doing for The Walking Dead. And that's it. Just review it and then do the older stuff like the Flaw and Awe reviews. That would be my dream little YouTube lineup. Just because it's just so... I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired. Years after years of people who are just either toxic or they want to throw nonstop spoilers and ruin it. And again, I see it early. I'm not talking about me, boo-hoo. I'm talking about the community can't come here and kick it. And it's not the same as what it was. Before we had to worry about the spoiler community. And now it's even worse because it's just straight out there, you know? That deer was the fucking worst. Yes, it was. I know you like Friday the 13th, so are you planning to buy the 40th anniversary Best Buy Steelbook coming out in May? I really wanted to. I really don't know if I'm going to have the funds. I'm really trying to stack up some funds to buy buy some equipment for the channel. I need a new microphone so I can record me standing up in front of this background for the Flaw and Awe reviews, so I can actually do an in-person intro, and then a little bit through the video I can appear like in a review in person. I can't do it with this setup here. I mean, this microphone is great, but the webcam is dog shit, and it looks terrible. I'm sitting down. I want to do it standing up, and I want to have my camcorder with a nice lapel mic. My lapel mic right now is like a $20 one. And the sound is just dog shit compared to this mic. So when you put them side by side, it's distracting. So I might have to skip, but I would love to grab it. I'm gonna think about it, because if it has extras, I'm gonna do Friday the 13th Flaw and Awe. So I'm gonna watch those extras anyway. I love your streams. I look forward to them every Sunday. Enjoy the Flaw and Awe's as well, Ronnie. Thank you very much. Al, bro. Did you suspect Carol letting Negan out? Yeah, I talked about that a while back. Now, I did admit they probably won't do that just because it gets a little tricky with why was Carol so gung-ho when she already knew Negan was out there? And now that it's done, I'm thinking I shouldn't have been surprised, because again, it should have been written differently, but they wanted Carol being the one making these decisions to have stuff happen. But it should have been done differently, where Carol did get out of pocket. Daryl was like, yo, you need to yada, yada, yada. And then he was like, oh my God, I'm so amazed how restrained you are. And she was just like, I know. But again, the story has to play out in an interesting way. And yeah. And then here we find out that she fell back because she let Negan out. She didn't fall back because she let go of this, hatred, or she wasn't restrained, or she didn't have self-discipline. You know what I'm saying? So I do disagree with her, everything she fucking did up until this point, I know one of the SFX guys, and he said that it's the smallest crew he's ever been with, even though it's a AAA show. Oh my God, I thought you were talking about because someone brought up The Last of Us 2, the development, and I was like, show, it's a video game, what are you talking about? But then it hit me, Walking Dead. Did you suspect? They showed some of the special effects people. years ago in one of the behind the scenes stuff, and it was like a guy with a laptop and I think someone else. I mean, given it looked like it was like their office area, but I don't know. I don't dive deep into it because I do know from what I remember, I think there's different people they go with. It's not just like here's one group. They use different groups for different things or something. I have to go back and double check, refresh my memory. Their budget was low, but during the war they had 10 random explosions, which I am still confused about because what was exploding was the bombs. Hollywood doesn't care. They think people stupid, people see fire, things go boom and people go yay. But yes, shit's not just going to blow up. They're not making ammo, so what's blowing up? Yeah, Alden missing him was dumb. Yeah, you already answered this, but where do you think Connie is? I'm pretty sure she's just somewhere waiting to be. I already answered this. Connie is already confirmed. She's filming something else. When she's done, she'll come back. And I think she's just going to appear. Who knows? She might not even appear till next season. Or maybe she'll show up with Maggie or something. She just got separated. She's out there surviving, hiding from the Whisperers. I used to not understand why the budget, and I don't mean to be attitude to you, not at all, not even close. I know I have attitude because I hate that they just came straight out and they were like, oh yeah, Connie's filming, she'll be back, don't worry about it. It should have just been like up in the air. I used to not understand why the budget is a big deal, but you actually explaining it with facts really helped me understand its importance. Well, thank you very much for sharing that. I appreciate that. Sometimes I try to explain something and I'll get that snarky comment where it's like, oh, look at you, know it all. And it's like, bro, I'm a fucking movie fanatic. I mean, I've always wanted to write movies. Maybe if I ever get lucky enough, probably not anymore because there's already too many white guys out there in the world. We're not allowed to do anything anymore. But if I ever get lucky enough, I would love to direct something, you know what I'm saying? And I'm good with the scraps. I'll do independent. I'll do crowdfunding. We'll do our own original shit. It don't even gotta be big. It could be small. If it sucks, just throw tomatoes at my face. I don't care. I just want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I've read and looked and studied. I've been on little super mini independent sets and yada yada yada. So I'm interested in that. So when I learn something and I talk about it, some people yell at me. They're like, and I'll admit it. I don't know dick about being on an actual fucking, official Hollywood production. I think I would pass out in my own nut. You know what I'm saying? I would, as gross as that is. Ever since I was little, that was just like my dream. I've always wanted to tell stories, get them out there, and then people told me, well, you have to act, and then you would have to direct or produce or whatever. You have to be a jack of all trades so that way you can network and yada, yada, yada. But then as I was growing up, people were like, you're an idiot. Go to factory and get a job because that's all I came from a really shitty town, man. The whole town was just dying. It was an old coal mining town, and everything was just busted. I know you're not big on the supernatural, but man, I feel like you could make a killer supernatural script. You know what I think? I feel like I might be able to do something unique because I don't enjoy, and I do enjoy some supernatural stuff. I just don't find possession stories, ghost stories, I just don't find them scary. Not even a little bit. But because of that, if I did write something, I do think it would have a really unique, because it wouldn't be anything like you've gotten, because I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, but then it might be too different. Maybe some people just don't like it. Not even at all. Magna got her lips done on the hiatus. Kim Ames. I was shocked seeing Carol let him out. Didn't care who predicted it. I was shocked they had no relationship. This is something I did mention during my review. And again, I don't give them any credit for this because you were shocked. A lot of people were shocked because they didn't have a relationship. They were never on screen together. They didn't set it up. Now, Dante was the same way. They slid him in between seasons. Carol, same thing. They leave her and Negan. They don't even hint or go near it, because if they did, they wouldn't be able to write it good enough to keep it hidden from us. So they don't get any credit. But yeah, it was shocking because there was nothing leading into that. AP Sports with a $2 dono. Great episode. Rip Alpha. Rip, bitch. Are you going to get the Predator game? I would like to. And if we do, we are going to stream that. Rick, reaction to Alpha Head. If we get... I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I really am. If we build up the Patreon support, right now we're at like $220 a month on Patreon. If we build it up, my first goal is to reach $500. Once we reach 500, I think that'll give us enough breathing room where I can start pumping out more Flaw and Awe videos. And I'm going to try to go for 3 straight months of Flaw and Awe like crazy, and get more people to realize this is a series that's going to be ongoing. Because right now, my problem is I need new people to just check them out. Because right now, when people watch them, they love them. There's a lot of positivity there. But I need more people to know about them. So that's my game plan. So if we can do that, and if it is looking like it's going on the way up, I might change things around. I don't know. So I might shift the gaming streams over to my personal channel and keep this clean for the Flaw and Awe. That's not something I was going to do before. I was really going to ditch this channel before and then just do my personal channel, but leave this one for The Walking Dead, because the analytics on this channel are so screwed. I would need a miracle. But like I said, if we're funding it to keep it going while I can dig it out of this analytical hole right now, I think maybe we'll do that and do all the extra stuff on my personal channel. It's just an idea. You guys let me know. Rick's reaction to Alpha's head from Negan would have been great to see. Kind of sucks it isn't. Yeah, I agree. And if anyone has anything negative to say about the Flaw and Awe reviews, I get so many positive comments. I'm open to any negative constructive criticism, because I want to make them as best as they can. Right now, I'm really excited about just tweaking the intro. And again, it's simple. It's stupid and simple. Just a little one line about what it is and then get right into it. I don't want to explain this big thing. Let's check out the straw poll. I keep forgetting about this. Let me pull over the straw poll. I'm going to share it one final time. Copy link. I'll share it one final time, and then we will see what you guys thought about the episode. Let me read this. Rick's reaction. First 3 letters of your name. I don't care, though. You the bomb. Oh, thank you very much. Ale or Al. Laugh out loud. I'm a girl, and it's Al, bro. Like beer. Well, isn't beer ale? Just to... I might be saying that wrong. I thought it was ale for beer. Al, bro, question mark. Oh, okay. You're not saying it's Al. You're saying ale. Gotcha. Okay, so ale. We're good. Ale, bro. I got you now. I'm with you. I appreciate that. How's your back, dog? It's doing better. A lot better. I mean, shit. I pulled something in my back. I couldn't walk for like 3 days. Shit sucked. Aiden's accent is so annoying. You think so? I'm not bothered by it. How do you write your scripts for Doomsday Kingdom? I mean, that's so general. It's, how do I answer that? I want to get to the dono here. I must have missed this somehow, but it depends on a number of factors. If you're starting from scratch, then you're looking for somewhere to start, a starting point. Whose story is it? What's the point of view? What story are you telling? But when it comes to now, the story's already flowing. Now it's about looking at, the pacing and the characters and a start point, but where it's going to unfold to. You know what I'm saying? If you get a little more specific with the questions when it comes to that gets a lot easier to answer, because writing goes from, I'm sitting here, all of a sudden I get this idea, like some type of visual or whatever, and then it'll be like, oh yeah, and that'll unfold or become this other thing that becomes this other thing. And next thing you know, I have this whole scene idea that is going to intertwine between 3 or 4 different issues. And then sometimes you really got to pound at, okay, I wrote this scene, it didn't work. I rewrite this, polish this, do that, scrap it, start over. So it's all over the place. Writing is, Jesus, man. There's all different types of ways to do it. Excuse me. Gavin's Ghost. Oh yeah, Gavin, I remember him with a $10 dono. Great stuff, Ronnie. Thought episode awesome with throwback to Look at the Flowers. Prison falling and Earl's scene was huge for Judith too, with first pre and post turn human kills. Yeah, now that I think about that, that was Judith's first human kill, and then post turn known, right? That she knew kills. So yeah, for as far as Judith and character development, I think the reason it doesn't work for me is because they showed her to be a perfect killing machine originally. I stand by my criticisms where if she had a little more of a struggle and they added a little bit more realism into her, I probably would have just been like glued to the screen. So for me, just because they made her too, ninja warrior princess, I just didn't care. I didn't give a shit. It's like, what's her big deal? I didn't even see her as a kid. I just saw her as someone who should be used to this. But yeah, you make a good point. Gavin's Ghost, thank you very much for the donation. Who do you think is going to be the one to take out Beta? I'm guessing Daryl. It's got to be someone who's had some. He already had a fight with him. I don't know. It's got to be someone who had some. Daryl and Negan, maybe. You should definitely contact Lindsay, register for the interview. So she's so lovely and kind. She loves her fans and appreciates us. We'd all love to see that interview. And for me, it really hinges on having the time to get it done. I think there's some stuff coming up where I might be able to swing it. And I've been wanting to do more and more reviews, interviews, especially with some independent people who I've talked to, at least a year ago at this point. And more people were going to jump aboard and do reviews. So I'd have to reach back out. But I think if I do a review, I think the first thing I'll ask is... we'll start it off by saying, all right, we got 2 main questions. Well, no, you can't ask about how you'd feel if you died, but I'd say, what are you doing? Are you free Friday night? And, no, I'm just kidding. I would say, what kind of plans or what kind of dream gig would you want after being on The Walking Dead or something like that? I think I'd be interested. Not, how does it feel to die? Of course it sucks, She'd probably hang up as soon as, are you free Friday night? She'd be like, yo, get me the fuck out of here. My man said, because white people aren't allowed to do anything anymore. I fucking love you, dude. You got my dying over here. You almost spit out your drink. I legit heard that the other day. Well, you guys know the story about the person who contacted me asking why I'm writing a story. Because since I'm writing a story now, in their word, quote unquote, a person of color loses the opportunity to tell the story, which is like, I do not compute with your reality. I'm fucking sorry, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Mine in the North Star with a $2 dono. Ideas how much to make Beta's identity matter or not. I don't think it matters, no matter how much they could force it in there. I don't know. They could do something. I mean, I just haven't thought about it enough to have a specific idea. So, boy. Oh, Uncut Gems, and it sucked. And you know what, Map Fam? I'm a little upset with you guys because everyone was jumping on my back about renting Uncut Gems. It's amazing. It's, oh my God, it'll change your life. So I rented it, and I didn't have time to watch it. I was editing and editing and editing. So then the next day, I didn't have time to watch it. I'm editing, trying to get this video out for you guys. Ask my daughter. She can even prove it. So like 3 days later, I finally said, you know what? I got to throw it in to watch it. And I found myself fast forwarding through multiple parts. I think if I get time, I might, have a few beers and watch it when I have a lot of time. But I called the ending, which was disappointing. You could just tell by how they were setting it up, where it's gonna be this big and then but having a character do something so stupid like give away $1 million and then wonder, try to get it back. I hated him just from the rip. So thank you for that.
You should watch an Adam Sandler movie called Murder Mystery. It is so good.
Is it so good? Is it made for kids? Or are you watching movies that are not made for kids, bro?
It's like PG-13.
Oh, well, that's kids enough. Are you going to try and catch tonight's ride with Norman Reedus sometime this week, since he's been touring Japan with Ryan Hurst for the episode? Probably not.
Bye.
Is there good stuff with it? I mean, I think it's on AMC Premiere. I could just watch some of that. Bye, honey. I'm not going to check it out. Listen, and I'll be the first one to admit this, man. I've been having a rough little end of 2019, beginning of 2020. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to watch rich people drive around. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the fucking right state of mind for that. I just don't got it all. So when I get back on my feet and things are picking up, I'll check it out again. But until then, I'm not doing it, homie. No fucking way. So not only that, I just went into debt fixing this bitch of a car, and I came out, there's no oil in it, there's no coolant, which is weird. I've never had an issue with coolant, but now the coolant and the oil, it's all gone, which is like 4 months ago I just paid $800 to get all the oil leak dealt with, and it's been like, oh my god, it's great, and then out of the blue the other day, I've been checking it every week, out of the blue, all of it, oil's gone, coolant's gone, and I'm just like, come on, man, I can't deal with this shit right now. Also, why would she leave Judith and RJ like that? They can kill Michonne off the show because she's going to the movie. Well, they can't kill her off the show. What? Did you mean they can't kill her off? Because that doesn't make any sense. I think you mean because she's going to the movie. I think you mean the other way around, right? They already made bad. Ooh, who's using my thing? I'm back. I want to use a little face. Oh, fuck. You know what? I did it again. Let me pull up the damn... Here we go. The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 12. I liked it. I didn't love it. I loved the beginning. I loved the end. Even the brutalness with Gamma for a portion there. Up until she gets shot with the arrow, which is one of the dumbest things ever in the history of anything dumb. Because even though I loved certain chunks, as a whole, I can't say I loved it, because I fast forwarded some scenes. Just the Magna one. I gotta go with liked, even though I can understand if you said loved. Let's see. Yeah, I knew it. Like I said, I can understand if you clicked love. This week we had 67% with love, and even though I only picked like, I see this and it lines up. I get it. I can understand it. I can see why the majority of people picked like. So this seems like it's solid. No disagreements there. 26% said like it. 5% said okay or meh. And not even 1% disliked it. And not even 0.5% hated it. Only one person hated it. And only 2 people disliked it. Wow. That seems to line up pretty good. I honestly thought we'd have a handful of people that hated it and disliked it, but shit. I mean, that's good. That's good. That's a lot less than I was expecting. Only 3 people that were not happy. Out of 300 people voting, only 3 people didn't like it. If I read that right. That's what's up. Yeah, car troubles are a bitch, yo. I mean, I would love to have a new car one day, but that car bill, man, I can't fuck with that, bro. I'm not built for that, Shit. I was just thinking about it the other day, too. I haven't had a car that was in the 2000s and up. I drive a 1998, you know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about, like, I've never owned anything above the 2000s, which I think sometime later this year when I'm on my feet again, I think I got to remedy that because, fuck, like, what? I got to remedy that one. Negan looked like he's actually felt bad for Alpha while she was dying. Maybe he loved her. I think there maybe in a way he does kind of, I wouldn't say loved. I mean, who knows? Negan's sick. I think there was, I don't know. There was some type of connection there that was more on a, he wished he didn't have to be in this position, because he did try to talk to her before, which led me to believe he wasn't just cold and yada, yada, yada. He gave her an out. He did say, it's bullshit. He gave her the chance to break down and to go the other way, essentially. He told her she didn't have to kill her daughter, but no, she started, she collected, and she accepted. She moved forward and he went with it. I think it's along the lines of that. But I would be surprised if they said he was, and they might say he was in love with her, but I'd be a little surprised. I think he respects her a lot, as a leader, even though she was bad. Ronnie, did you hear me screaming? What? That Negan Alpha moment was incredible. Then Carol reveal screams. Wow, I'm glad you liked it. What character style of survival would you be most like in a real life apocalypse? I don't know. I'd be robbing people. I'm not even going to front on that. Not like bad, though. Not crazy. Hit up the pharmacy, hit up this. I mean, I'll be fair with people, but I think more along the lines of build up a little rough front just because I'll be goddamned if I'm rolling around and some little hard-ass crew runs up on me. I'm not going out like that. My dumb ass will get shot or beat to death. Have you seen the horror movie Color from Space with Nicolas Cage? Not yet. I do want to check it out. Yeah, Aiden killed Walker Gamma, so Beta doesn't have her in the Horde. We all know that. It's still dumb. It's still one of the dumbest scenes that's ever been filmed. He could have killed Beta and then immediately shot Gamma. She's not going anywhere. She's a fucking walker. She doesn't even move fast. It was poorly done. It was a terrible idea to include it, but they did it just because they don't respect us as an audience. And I think it's about time we get it, because once we tell them, like, listen, bro, we're not morons, they will correct the writing. Because again, it's easier when you get into writing. You'll understand it's easier to write for, and again, I want to word this way that's not an insult, because I want to come off and say it like it's easier to write for stupid than than to write something that's clever. But I don't mean it like that, because there's a lot of people that just sit down and they give a lot of leniency to it, or there's a lot of room to play there. They don't mind. They don't mind that it's stupid to shoot Beta. It's not because they're dumb. It's not because they have a bad taste in movies. It's just because they're just yeah. I don't know. It's weird to. I don't have the right words for it, but you get what I'm saying? It's not like they're dumb, but they're just, it's no big deal. I'm just here to enjoy this story and that's it. Giddy up and out of here. But I do think if the majority of people, and that's one part of what made me come up with the flaw in our review style, is I want fans to come together in the comments and say, this is what I loved, this is what I hated. And then down the line, someone who's coming up and they are one of the next filmmakers to rise, as they're rising, they could be reading the comments, they could be watching the videos, they could be hearing over and over, what are people getting annoyed with, what are people in love with, what types of tropes are just, what types of tropes are fun, or how to do a certain play on them. You get what I'm saying? I think it's bad when they're writing for dumb. You know what I'm saying? And I think that saying it's a emotional reaction for Alden, it's just trying to pretend like you're not writing for stupid people. You get what I'm saying? Not just stupid people. Again, I'm putting it in a box. People who don't really care. And again, it's not don't really care, but it's not a big deal. Same here, liked it. There were some things that found questionable, such as Carol freeing Negan to give Alpha's head. Yeah, Carol, yeah, we're all a little, on that one. Betamask got ripped, so will everyone know who he is now? Well, I'm pretty sure he might fix it, I would imagine. You could ask about her sex scene with Eugene that got cut out of the script. That is something I would ask. So when Rosita was talking to Eugene, she said they didn't tell him about the horde. Why would they not tell the other communities about that situation? Yeah, that was pretty dumb. Well, I think Negan will go back with the group. It's not a comic, so it would be weird for them to do what they did in the comic unless it was, okay, you can live outside of the community, and then when we need you, we can have you in one episode here, one episode there, and that way he's still in the show, but his schedule's not overwhelmed, you know? Yeah, rob the pharmacy, homie. I mean, not only can you take happy pills, but, I mean, you could take pills that people are going to need, antibiotics, medicine, I mean, and you can use it to barter and trade. If the world went to shit, I would rather have something that has value in itself than paper money. Paper money is just the promise of value. You know what I'm saying? Do you think Negan will go back to the group? Or goes on, all right, I already read that one. The intro to Last Flaw in Oz was perfect. Short and direct, the more information needed. Directed to more information needed. I thought so too. I was really happy with that. And again, it's not like this beautiful, poetic, complicated, yada, yada, yada. It's nice to the point where it trims it down. This is what we're doing. You can find the rules in the comment box. Let's go, you know, because I want to get right into the video as soon as possible. I heard the Invisible Man was good. I want to see it. I haven't seen it yet, though. The Hunt was full of action, but a bit disappointing. I want to check that out, see what it's all about. Yeah, I think he'll repair the mask. What will Beta do now? Attack. There's only one thing to do. Yeah, Beta's going to lose his shit. He's not just going to take his toys and go home. He's going to go nuts. Honest question, but are you bored with The Walking Dead? In a way, yes. And in what season did you start losing interest? Season 6. Season 6 at the very... No, I can't say that because I had a solid interest in Season 6. It was Season 7. Season 6 was the cliffhanger that made me really worried for the future because it didn't look like they were writing... or it didn't feel like they were writing for... the respect of the story that's unfolding, but instead of ratings gimmick. And season 7 with the structure was so jarring. I had a hard time with season 7, and then it continued in 8, and then even in a way it continued in 9 to some. I did like 9. 10 is having this issue where I'm just finding a lot of it okay. There's moments I do love, but a lot of it is just okay. But I am getting, in a way, overall, bored with The Walking Dead, and I think that has a lot to do with the budget. If you don't have money to film a 20-minute war when you need a 20-minute war, you're going to get this. I didn't buy toilet paper, no. I get it. It's writing to a common denominator. It's actually trickier than it seems. Similar, I write materials for training sales reps. You have to find a common language. So what happens with the survivors from the hilltop? Why or how did everyone get separated after they had time to go back and get their kids and babies? Yeah, XL, I'm noticing a trend every week with you. You're asking me a question where it's something that I agree. I have problems with it as well, but I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for them. You know what I mean? So, you can, again, I think I said the same thing last week. You can direct it to me. You don't got to ask me the question because I agree with you too. That was one of the parts I didn't like in the episode. I'm not going to, they don't pay me. I'm not going to write the story for them. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it was all dumb. Getting separated, coming back, fucking stupid. We had all the whispers there, making sure everyone was dead. Oh, Ezekiel was under a piece of metal. How did he get under there? Don't show it because that would incorporate time, money, logic. Again, it's a wall, no zombies. He didn't burn on fire. No one saw him. He was unconscious. Just enough for them to show up. He didn't wake up 5 minutes earlier. He just got up now. They just so happen to be out of that whole area right where he was covered under a metal thing. Yeah. The scene I loved in the comics was Rick sleeping on Andrew's grave. Would that work for anyone in the show? Well, I think it would work, but you got to build up to it. They're not ready for it now. Unless you would utilize somebody in a different way. It doesn't have to be a super romantic, like husband-wife long time. It could just be friends. It could be buddies. It could be Eugene, on top of Rosita's grave, even. I'm worried that so many people are leaving the show or going part-time that it will suck. I have those same fears. I really don't hope it happens, but if something happened to Andrew Lincoln, do you think The Walking Dead would fall, since that would mean no more Rick? No, Rick movies wouldn't destroy The Walking Dead. If that was the case, the main show would be having, a lot more problems than it has right now. I really don't hope it happens, but if something... All right. I wonder how Daryl and the rest of the group will react to Carol working with Negan, as if Carol went after Alpha for nothing. Here's the problem. You're asking something where in real life there'd be issues, but the writers would probably just write it off and focus on what do we do with Negan now. But yes, a lot of them would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You already had this plan, yet you were just going nuts, getting us killed? What? If Alpha would have broke down, then Negan wouldn't have killed her, but then he wouldn't have complete the task for Carol? ? Well, listen, that's the thing, though. Again, I'm not going to write the story for them, but if she had broken down, I'm not sure if he would have killed her. He might have, but I don't know. What's the point in bringing all that up and addressing her? What if she did? What if she backed down and didn't? Then what does he do? Does he try to get through to her? We can make peace with them. We can leave them alone. We can leave. And then what if she leaves the communities alone? She agrees with Negan. You know what? Fuck it. And what if he can convince her even further? Again, you're asking something that's it's never going to happen, but could he have let her go? Sure. What does he do with the Carol? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I guess it's up for fans to kind of discuss. I hate discussing what ifs because, again, it's not there. It's never going to be there. It never happened. But I do believe, if I can dip my toes in it, he would have taken some sort of out. Would you have liked it if they gave Negan the line, "Wait till Carol gets a look at you"? And I get it, AMC. Would I have liked it? No, because they wanted that surprise. The line, it makes the line null and void. I think most fans are just having The Walking Dead fatigue. 10 years of the same shit simply wears you down. I think it's still good, but that's about where I'm at with it. I think there's some truth to that. Listen, when we see a zombie walking and it looks amazing, I don't notice it right away. I just think zombie. And I'm sure a lot of us have gotten so used to gory, amazing looking zombies. That isn't anything special anymore. And again, I take notes like when I'm doing Doomsday Kingdom, for example, and I want to highlight a certain zombie. I was just writing this zombie that made my stomach turn the other day because I was thinking, where can we go with this? Make it extra gross. So the one person was having these zits and boils and just coming up with shit to add, because if it's the same stuff, and that's one thing I'm having a problem with, we see a lot of the same blackened zombie, and I do know in the comics they did say the really old ones, it's like their skin turns, it's almost like burnt, right? But we see a lot of these super ultra skeleton-like muscular, I don't know, and you need more than that because we it's so common. It's not as exciting. It's not interesting. When I'm doing the Flaw and All reviews, I'll make sure to take notice when I'm rewatching it. If that is a really good-looking zombie, yeah, you get props for it. But when I'm watching the episode, I don't immediately think, oh my God, wow, that's awesome, because it's so common. Why couldn't the three of them take out 5 walkers? I'm forgetting what scene you're talking about. What scene is this? 3 of who? Take out 5 walkers? You mean you mean with Gamma in them? I thought there was more than that. I got the impression there was a horde and we were starting to see them poke through, or at least a mini horde or a mini group. That's when I was watching it. That's the impression I got. I get that they're budget issues, but why can't we not see Laura's death, or why not show Gamma's guts a little? Well, the guts would be ratings issues, not budget. As far as Laura's death, something had to be up with that, because that was just clunky all around. Why do you even need her dead at that point? Again, that was just so fucking dumb. Why do you need to kill her then? It doesn't do anything for the character, for the story. No one even noticed. It's like she got forgotten about. It was fucking terrible, man. What does it do? I mean, what are we doing here? So Laura's whole death doesn't make any sense. I've been watching you since I was in 5th grade, and I've been a fan of yours for the past 5 years because you always keep it real, like a real motherfucker. You're my favorite YouTuber. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much for the compliment. I'm glad you've been hanging around for 5 years, brother. I appreciate that. All right, let's wrap this up. I think we showed the straw poll and everything. We did a double episode where we went a full 2 hours instead of the 1 hour. I did that because there's no school tomorrow, so that doesn't matter. So I did an extra hour, and I just finished the Flaw and Awe, so I don't got to edit tonight. But I am going into Dawn of the Dead, Flaw and Awe, 1978. I think, yeah, the original was in 78. So if you are interested, stay tuned. If you are on the fence, consider hopping over to Patreon. We still need a good amount of people to jump aboard and help fund the Flaw and Awe for the next 2-3 months, until we could grow the community big enough to where we're relying solely on the ad revenue and the sponsorships to keep it going full time. Because I would love to put out 2 every single week. But again, each one takes anywhere from 25 to 35 hours of editing. If we have certain things already done and in the can, we can reuse like visuals and overlays. But there's a lot of times where I'm trying to create new things and we don't even use them all. But again, we'll reuse them later. So it'll get easier, but we just need to build it up right now. Do you think there's going to be a further delay in the Rick movie? Yeah, I do. Since all Walking Dead production has stopped at this time due to the coronavirus. Yeah, Earl tried to kill himself. He would have been better off if he just left the fucking cabin. I mean, just walk outside, bro. Literally go anywhere. What are you doing? They only did that to force the whole Judah thing. It would be badass if Daryl and Beta had another fight scene, then Daryl gets hurt and Connie slingshots him in the eye. Daryl slits his throat. Alden could have killed Beta, but he shot the zombie. Yeah, that's what I said. It was 5 walkers. That's why they ran into the van. That's why I was so confused. They battled an entire horde. 5 walkers had them scared and running. See, yes, I will agree with you. The Walking Dead has a constant and consistent problem where when they have to kill a lot of zombies, or even one, they just go like this. In the zombie heads. And again, this is something as a zombie fan I want created. If I was going to film an original little mini short, you'll have a character who goes to stab someone in the head and the knife slits their scalp. It's in my comic. One zombie's got like his whole head all sliced up because the one girl just can't penetrate the skull. That zombie, and I guarantee if you put that in a movie, it'll be 10 times more intense. You'll be on the edge of your seat and you'll just it'll be one of those anxiety moments because it's not a character just going, you're dead. Now, here's where the problem in The Walking Dead comes into play. When you need to make a tense scene, take a zombie from Doomsday Kingdom, one where you can't simply just stab it in the skull and penetrate its skull. It's a lot harder. You could probably stab it. You might have to push it after it penetrates the skull just to make it into the brain. And then when you're pulling it out, it's going to stick. The knife is going to stay in the head as it falls. You're going to have to put your foot on the zombie's head and pull it out. You're fighting 5 of those zombies versus 5 Walking Dead ones where you can just go like this and it's like butter, in and out. it doesn't make any sense they run away. Even with the baby in hand, have the one girl, they don't move around too much, go in circles, trip them up, move around. Each of you spread out as the zombies spread out, attack them, keep it moving. And again, it's because the zombies are so easy to kill. Done, done, done. Earl's death compared to Laura's shows the lack of respect for Laura's death. Yeah. I disagree with that so much. Can you do more comic cover videos? Not right now. I will finish them though. And again, that's just something I want to do. I want that to be done with, because that'll be a whole completed series that we can just boom. Since there's no more Walking Dead comic, it's not really a rush. Once we finish, it's going to be done. And I think we're close to the last. No. Since I stopped, there's probably another 70 that we need to do. And we do 6 at a time. So that's actually a good amount of videos. Yeah, I mean, one of these days, I would love to finish that series or finish it up. Maybe when we do one more, since the Walking Dead comic is done, we'll see how people react to it. If no one watches it, then obviously we're going to take our time. But if people jump aboard and they're like, oh, it's refreshing to have comic stuff after, we haven't had any in so long, maybe that'll help us to get a few more out in between the Flaw and Awe reviews as we're going. They had a baby, too risky to fight. I don't want to hear it. One person had the baby. There was 2 other fighters. Again, you just can't. You can't make excuses for a show that has constantly shown how easy zombies are to kill. I mean, you can, but I'm not buying it. I'm not picking up what you're putting down. Why did Negan tie up Lydia? Sorry if you've addressed this already. I took that as, 1, it's more dramatic when we're watching it, obviously, but 2, let's just say he left her do whatever. There's a chance, because listen, he can't just take her, hop in a car, drive her 200 miles away, or 5 miles away and then come back. He's in the same vicinity. She's near where the Whisperers are, other Whisperers. What if he said, hey, Alpha, I got Lydia, and then here comes a Whisperer pulling Lydia out of the fucking woods, and then, obviously he can say, oh, she must have escaped, but then he can't keep her safe. So tying Lydia up was so it didn't blow his bullshit story. Judith had a machete? Yeah. What do you think the Whisperers meant when they said Beta? I knew your voice sounded familiar. Beta was a famous country singer, and that's what he meant. The scene at Alexandria was good where Beta made fresh zombies. Yeah, I like that part. I wish we had a little more there, but I dig that. But you got to remember that the zombie had been around for like 10 years now, so that means they would be rotten. So no, again, I'm not eating what you're putting down. First off, skulls, they don't rot like flesh. If you take old skulls, I mean, I would imagine over time they're still going to get fragile, but it's just not the same. It's not the same as it's not the same as flesh. Yes, I do think, I would imagine they degrade over years, but it's nothing to where they would be jelly. I don't believe that. Just based off of people who work with real life skulls and how they talk about them and this, that, and the third. On top of that, Sadiq was brand new zombie, and Rosita pierced him like he was a jelly skull scumbag. So I hear what you're saying, but you're making an excuse for bad creative decisions. It was bad creative decisions to have skulls easily penetratable. Did I say that right? And I appreciate it, but, and again, if you don't care, if you're fine with it, that's fine. I'll never be fine with it. It looks terrible every time it's done, and it takes away from what they could actually be doing with this, man. I never seen any of the comic covers. Are they good? Well, he's talking about my comic cover breakdown videos where we take the covers and we break down the artwork. If you want to look it up, just look up Make a Path Presents Walking Dead comic cover breakdown. I forget. I think that's what it was called. I did all the way up until like issue 115. I talk about the symbolism and what the covers mean if they were pulled directly from the story. They should have taken some Survivor tips from Naked and Afraid. Now that show has excitement but no walkers. I don't think I've ever watched that. Have you noticed that the actors can be on other shows now? In earlier seasons, if an actor was on another show, we'd be like, well, they die. But now it's like the show doesn't care. Do you watch Better Call Saul? I recently started it and fell in love with it immediately. I'm going to be catching up to it, but I'm not currently watching it. The Walking Dead will be irrelevant when Rick Part 1 comes out. I don't agree with that at all. I mean, it's not irrelevant now, you know? It's not as king as it was, but it's not anywhere near being irrelevant. C. John D's Nuts. CJ and these nuts. Did I say that right? CJ and these nuts in your mouth. $5. Call your donation bucket. Half yo shit. As if you were Negan taking half of everyone's belongings. I could do that. Great stream. One, it would be a lie because you don't have $10 in total. Or at least I hope not. If you did, keep it. You know, I appreciate the thought. But don't know bucket. I like the donation bucket sounds. The fuck it bucket. Yeah, let's call it the fuck it bucket. Gave $5 to the fuck it bucket. Get it? Because fuck it. We don't need ad revenue. We don't need sponsors. We got in-house. I'm just kidding. Thank you very much for the support. Glad you liked the stream. I'll think about it. I agree with you on inconsistencies with the zombies being so easy to kill, like butter. You called this out years ago, I feel like, and goes back budgeting. Yeah, I did. I have been talking about this a long time. And again, that's just because as a fan of the zombie genre, when I see that, I am instantly pulled out of it. I think it looks terrible. Why would they hide in the van instead of running away? They wouldn't be trapped in a van like Daryl was before. Again, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for stuff. You're doing it again. I'm not going to make excuses for it. All I will say is when I watched that scene in the very moment, I took that as, again, there's massive zombies out there. They just got in a fight with an enemy who controls a horde. You have a screaming baby. You don't know if you're running towards a bigger amount of zombies. And at a certain point, you're going to get winded and not be able to run anymore. So I saw that as a moment to just quiet the baby up, you know, regroup, kind of chill out, not get eaten in this very moment. Was it a dumb idea? Yeah, because they could have gotten swarmed and stuck in the van. So again, I find problems with a good chunk of that. Some of it I'm not really too concerned about because it could have just been like a quick thinking bad idea, which characters can have bad ideas. Hirani, any coming of age movies you like? I don't know. Not off the top of my head. I'm sure there are. The I'm Okay With It was decent. It's a newer one. It's got Stan from Stranger Things and then the girl from Stranger Things. That has like a superhero, like an indie unknown type of vibe to it. I thought that was pretty good. It still had the trademarks of this is a 2018, 2019, 2020 film. It still had that where everyone's got to be gay and they have some taglines. So if you get through some of the more predictable aspects of it, it's too short, though. It is way too short. 20-minute episodes. There's only like 8 of them. That's coming of age. Old classics like Stand By Me. I like all those. What gets me... Breakfast Club is coming of age, ain't it? What gets me is they have had one shocker bite on the forearm with the knife play. No one really wears wrist wraps like Len with the duct tape. Yeah, I'll agree not having the padding. Like when Rosita wore her outfit where it was bare arms and then like chest plates. Oh my god, it's so fucking stupid. Oh man. Any gaming streams coming up? We may need them if this country goes into quarantine like they say it might. Well, I don't have any new games, and I'm not copping any new games. So if we did do any streams, which, again, I don't think so, because I only have plans to do Predators, hopefully. The Last of Us 2. I'm not playing The Last of Us again. We just already played that a little while ago. I am trying to replay Days Gone, but I haven't played in weeks just because I haven't had time. I think there's games I haven't played yet. I got to look through my stack. I'd like to play a little more Horizon Zero Dawn. I worked as freelance VFX artist back in Season 2 before Lionsgate set up a studio in Atlanta. The butter kills makes it easier for VFX, but bad creative decisions, laugh out loud. Yeah, I was watching some of the behind the scenes when it comes to some of the VFX, and this is something I've talked about in some of the reviews where people hold still a certain way to get it to line up. Like when they stab a zombie, the zombie's always, and then they pull it out. It doesn't jerk like in real life. If you watch episode 2, 3 of season 1, Daryl pulls out arrows from an actual zombie head that's a puppet head, and then he pulls arrows out of a deer, and you can see the shock and the movement and the pull, and you got that realism to it. And then he pulls one out of a CGI, and there's no whatsoever, and for me, those moments just leap out. It's so brutal, that little shock and that little movement. I don't know, just adding that little bit just adds so much more, I feel. But yeah, I could definitely understand that when it comes to the special effects. Instead of super chats only, have people donate to your PayPal so you get 100% of the money. Keep super chats for those who worry about privacy. Just read PP messages. Want you to get all the money. Yeah, I appreciate that. I should look at the PayPal. The tricky thing is with the PayPal, when we're on stream, I could talk about it and people are like, okay, here's straight to the PayPal. Then once videos are up, once I upload a video, with Patreon, it's always there, maintaining its own little advertisement. It's got it set up. You can kind of communicate. It's, you know what I'm saying? So, and it keeps them organized so you can see people who are here for months or what they donate or what to do. So that way, once you get into rewards, you know how to kind of structure it. With the PayPal will work that way, but it's not as clean, I don't think. And that's coming from the perspective of donations. We did do one where we were like, yo, you could do direct or you can do Patreon. And I think 95% of people just chose to do Patreon. But I do agree, if they could implement something where maybe there could be a code, like here, send it in, here's a little code, and then it could make a little tally of people, I think that would be great. Besides, Patreon does does the subscription where it is monthly, so you can jump up for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and then that way it's just instant, you ain't got to worry about it. But for PayPal, if we did a huge push, the next month, if we need it for 3 months, we'd have to do a whole new round of asking for the donos again, But I do appreciate that, and I do know what you mean. Definitely. Call it a $5 offering, like how Negan called it. We might be into older season territory though. And again, keep in mind, I am at the point I don't want it to be Walking Dead related only. You know what I mean? I want to move away from that. One of the biggest mistakes I made on this channel was focusing heavily on The Walking Dead without added content on the side. Because then anytime I did something that wasn't The Walking Dead, I got yelled at, or, it just got dislike bombed. For a while there, I think in 2015, it was crazy. If you did anything that wasn't Walking Dead, it was fuck, you were an asshole, which is so strange, Especially when we're doing 10 Walking Dead videos a week. I did one non-Walking Dead. I even got hate emails, That's how crazy it was. Do another fucking channel if you're going to talk about something that's not Walking Dead. And they would literally say, you're a Walking Dead channel. What the fuck are you doing? So, but I don't want to do Walking Dead only little names for that. Any gaming streams coming up? Michael Mohan. With a $5 dono, I think I fucked that name up. Will you ever review new movies that are out in theaters? I would like to. Certain ones. Just saw Invisible Man. It was great. The Hunt is out now and would love to hear your thoughts on it. Here's the thing. No, first off, thank you very much for the dono. Here's the thing with the new movies. I didn't want this to turn into a review channel where it was like when stuff's coming out, I'm running out and reviewing it. Simply because I just don't have a babysitter to do that. I just can't. When my daughter was in school, I could probably sneak away for the movie here and there, but we're talking like one a month, one every 3 months. It has to be like something that's fire, like the new Halloween, or if they came out with a Friday reboot, or maybe if I did decide to go see The Hunt. You get what I'm saying? Certain ones I watched and I was like, oh my God, this is great. Yeah, I just don't have... time-wise, I don't have what's needed to maneuver there. Not for all of them. We can do your random movie here and there. But I do appreciate the dono. And that is why or at least what I'm looking forward to with the Flaw and All. I know people have to wait until it's out on Blu-ray, but still, or at least digital. Joker, I released that one before it was even released. You know what I'm saying? In physical copy. Didn't I? No, I didn't, because I waited. I had it, but I waited to release it until I got the physical, and then I released it like the same day. For right now, I think as good as it gets is going to be the Flaw and All reviews. Do you think Carol will get her comic Death by Walkers? They keep teasing it. I don't think she should at this point in time. I don't think she should. You checked out Minds Ever? Sort of new social media site. Just wondering. Carry on. Good show. Good chat. I never heard of that yet. Minds Ever? Is it just Minds? Is it Minds Ever? This is the Walking Dead channel. What the fuck are you doing? I know, right? Sent you $5 dono through PayPal. Ron Don. Really? I got no notification for that. Oh, wait. I didn't have one before. But I got one now. Where are you at? Is this you? I don't want to say your name if it's not matching up. Oh, there's only one in, so it's got to be you. Thank you very much, T. Deanna Lives On, for a $5 dono. Direct to PayPal. Massive thank you for the support. You know, I'm thinking about it. I don't think it would be a difference between Patreon and PayPal, because T. Deanna Lives On sent $5. I got $4.50. Patreon would be pretty much the same thing. You get what I'm saying? Patreon might even be a little bit, because there's the transaction fee. Anything that's, transaction-wise, there's that transaction fee. So, yeah, I do appreciate the thing, but I'm pretty sure Patreon and PayPal would be lining up identical enough, where it shouldn't be too big of a deal. But I do appreciate any and everything. I mean, it all helps. Like I said, I am collecting funds right now, or at least earmarking donations to put towards new equipment coming up. Do you think Maggie will return with H.E. Pepperpacker and Dr. I don't know who the fuck that is. What do you think about the new Batman suit and Robert Pattinson? I did a video on it. I'm not impressed at this moment, but I'm definitely leaving some room to enjoy it in action, and any additional changes they make as the character, develops or over time. I would imagine he's going to upgrade a little bit at least. in it. Have you realized that actors take other gigs while they're on The Walking Dead now? We've known that. I'm not really sure why you're saying it, wording it like that. Are you talking about Rosita? I think that might be the only person. I talked about that before when I said I thought she would get killed off. At that time, I thought she was leaving The Walking Dead, so she took the other job. And again, that was because of how the negotiations were worded. They were filming at the same time, and they were working out a schedule. The article went on to say that it was worded where it was something they had to work out for this season, but it would be fine next year, even though they're filming at the same time. And that's what led me to believe, oh, she might get killed off. Yeah. Now, if she doesn't, who gives a shit? It's one of those, like, it's something that I just put in there as like a side comment that's not a lot of weight went behind it, just a little off comment based on something production-wise we know very little about. And I've forgotten about it, to be honest, since then. At this point in time, I don't even know if they're going to go with any other major deaths. Maybe one that's kind of like up there, but not super major. You can send on PayPal without a fee. Yeah, you can send friends and family. There is, without a fee. But again, when you're pulling for donos for channel and keep things up and running, you're just adding on things. Now you get what I'm saying? Now you're telling people, okay, donate, but do this and do that and that. I'm trying to argue or trying to separate the different. Patreon's easy. Go to Patreon. You click your tier, you do your own thing. But when it comes to PayPal, those who utilize it every day, there's a lot of people that don't even utilize it. So again, you're telling them about it. Maybe they have to sign up. Maybe they don't know about the different types, friends and family. And then there's what is the other one? It's as if you're buying something. So when I sent 10, what do you get? I don't know, brother. I don't know. If you didn't send 10 recently, then I'll have no idea. But if I check real quick, I think there's a minimum though. I think they only take like 50 cents no matter what, up until if you send, something big. One of the later episodes is apparently named Tower. Do you think Father Gabriel will die in that episode? Well, I hope not. I want him to stay around. If the U.S. is put on mass quarantine, what's your must-watch playlist to pass the time? I'll start you off, Dead Alive, 1992. I don't even know. As far as what I would watch, I'm going to try to watch some stuff I haven't watched before. There's a lot of older stuff that's classic that I skipped. Like I watched the first Hellraiser, skipped everything after that. I watched, I just thought of it the other day. I was like, I never watched, I think it was like Return of the Living Dead Part 2 and 3, for example. But I like 1. You know what I mean? There's stuff like that that's classics, but I've never watched them. I would watch those. Judith actress got cast for MCU project also. Is that new? I didn't hear about that. But yeah, people do get cast. I don't know where this is coming up all of a sudden where you can't do other things, because we've already known that. We've already talked about that. Sometimes it means they're dying off, like with Sasha. That one was on the money. But yeah, it doesn't mean they're all going to die off. Do you feel threatened or competition with any other YouTubers doing the same discussions? No. YouTube is different because there's no prime time. We're not fighting for that magical 9 p.m. time slot. People watch a video and you go to another channel, watch it because it's on content, not time slots. So again, we don't the competition I don't think is the same. Now, if you're doing the same stuff, like let's say I'm only staying in The Walking Dead and only, sure, there's a certain amount of people that once they watch 1 or 2 reviews, they're not watching anyone else. So they're really only hitting up a certain amount of people. They're not watching everyone's reviews. I don't even worry about that though, because I feel like the content that I want to make and lean more into It's not stuff that you're just going to jump on YouTube and find everyone doing, especially with the flaw in all reviews. There's way too much that goes into that for someone to copy. I mean, people could copy it, sure, but once they edit, 2 or 3 videos, they'll probably just be like, fuck this. Because they'll get 200 people to watch it, and they'll be like, this is nuts. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't say, like, it takes 20 to 30 hours of editing for people to feel bad for me. I'm just being real with it. It takes that long for editing. You know what I'm saying? So I think they would just be like, nah, fuck that. That is why for a while I've been considering honing in on content that isn't flooded. For me, I find it more interesting, more rewarding also. What are you guys talking about? The show is supposed to be getting weapons to help, and during that time, Judith has run-ins with Beta and Alpha Horde. Would you say her trip has failed? Yeah. I mean, we figured it would, right? My bad, Ron Don. I didn't know PayPal had a fee, my dude. I should have known, though. Nah, it's no biggie. It's 50 cents. Don't even worry about it. Anyone who's using PayPal in the future, if it's something you even remember, you click the friends or family. Other than that, like I said, it's really no big deal. I'm trying to see what they do if it's $10. I don't know why. It's like slowly loading. It's like, bro. Did I get anything in that's $10? I think that was someone buying Doomsday Kingdom stuff. Somebody had, oh yeah, that's Doomsday Kingdom. $12 in Doomsday Kingdom stuff, and they paid 65 cents for a fee. That stuff's all business stuff, though, so that's not a big deal. Here's a $14 dono. I'm sorry. It's a $15 dono. PayPal took out 75 cents. That's from AP. That was like last week. So for anyone curious, that's what they're taking out. So yeah, if you're a content creator and there's really no difference between, I would imagine. It seems like it's pretty much about the same. PayPal directly and Patreon, and they're both better than directly to what's it called? Super Chat, YouTube. Both better. All right. Oh, wow, that time flies. She just got cast for Loki, MCU show for Disney Plus. I doubt it affects the Walking Dead schedule since it's a side character. Yeah, and keep in mind, the more they're off on random different episodes, like if this was following the one group and every character in it, it gets harder to put them in it. You know what I mean? But once we have separations and it's easier to schedule it out and yada, 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 I would imagine off the top of my head when they're thinking of the new season, they don't know how many episodes Judith is going to be in. On top of that, she's a kid and she has certain laws as far as filming, so there's added complications and restrictions. So I think it just comes down to getting the scheduling, and sometimes it's just not as easy to do, and you don't want to book something and then overbook with another. Would you watch a movie called Ash vs. Rick Grimes? No, I would not. I'm glad that they stuck to the source material and gave Negan the kill, but still a little disappointed we didn't get the part where he holds up the head. Would make a great scene. Yeah, but again, that was totally different from how comic Negan did it versus how TV Negan did it. Was two different types of kills. It would have been out of place for him to have that moment with her and then just hold up her head. In the comic, he had this fight about the rape within the communities. He had this back and forth with her, and then he just lopped her head off and called it quits, and he instantly forgot about Alpha at that point in time. Negan had more of a connection with her in the show. So again, it wouldn't fit. For the comic, it fits for that. For the show, it just didn't. It doesn't line up. But last question to come in. Anything, someone, something good, something zippy, something or other, because I do have to shut her down finally. What did you say? So why could the only emotion he could muster is rage when Glenn was killed? Also, Chandler admitted he didn't give his all to his teen Carl. That's one of the criticisms. And Chandler Riggs on social media seems like he's having a blast and, just chilling, kicking it, making jokes too and having fun. And that's great. One of my criticisms was I can see potential there, but he looked like, and it's funny how right on the nose it was, man. He looked like someone who had got casted as a kid, and once you're in the club, what's the point? You don't need training. What's the point, bro? You've been doing this since you were a kid. You got this. The Walking Dead is on fire. Thousands of people every day telling you you're great. So of course, a couple idiots on the internet are like, yo, bro, his acting's a bit whack. He's going to keep brushing it off, until it gets to the point where it's like reality starts seeping in and he's like, oh, fuck. I was slacking off, man. I didn't give it my all. I sure as fuck didn't. And I think he knows that now. That level of self-awareness is, I think, it's scary when you're facing it, especially like in his shoes, young and got his whole career ahead of him. That curse of child actors is always lingering in Hollywood. But there was a show he was on where someone sent me a clip where he was in an emotional little outburst. And this was after he came out and admitted, yeah, I didn't give it my all at all, And he did 10 times better in that scene than most of the stuff in the last 4 years of his role in The Walking Dead. And again, that's why I think some of the more difficult things to face, the certain truths, the stuff that you get angry when you hear about, it's hard to face, but man, if you finally do, it's way more rewarding because now he gave a performance that will get him even more work. That was a better performance, get more fans and keep fans. And anyway, Black Star Films, BLK Star Films with a $10 dono. Appreciate the hard work you put into your channel. Looking forward to Peninsula as much as me. Laugh out loud. Oh yeah, the Train to Busan Part 2. Fuck yeah. FYI, I'm looking into using Video Husky for editing since that has always been the bottleneck for me. I don't know anything about Video Husky. I use Sony Movie Studio for editing. That is a software, though, you got to buy. I know you can start with the $50, I think it's like Movie Studio Platinum or something like that. Again, there's Sony Vegas, but then I got the Platinum version. I think it's only like $50. There is a lot of stuff that I would like to upgrade, but I wouldn't really be using too much of that. Not yet anyway. Before I upgrade anything, I do need to upgrade the computer to handle some of that shit. Right now, it just barely gets it done. However, I think something as simple as Sony Movie Studio, the Platinum one, again, it's like a $50, $50 software. It gets the job done, but I never heard of Video Husky. And thank you very much for the support. And yeah, video editing is definitely important, and I'm mad excited for Part 2. At what point in the writing process do you come up with an ending? Again, same thing as last time. All of them. Almost all of them. You never control when an ending is going to pop up. Like, for example, I have a certain character's arc. I was tweaking and moving around, and then something like a puzzle piece just popped into place. And it was just random based on the story and the arc, and I was looking at the outline, and I was, putting together a certain scene, and something popped up. As an arc, if we got to somewhere around this point, oh my God, it would be hitting. So again, it can pop up random. You can start with the ending sometimes. Sometimes it comes to even repolishing. You're like, no, that's not good enough. Let's tweak it and change it, move on. And then, you think on it some, and you'll add to it and build, and you can end up somewhere else. It could be spontaneous where something else pops up, and you're like, no, this is a better idea. I think if you sit down to write a movie, if it's one specific story, I like to know I'm heading towards a solid ending. I don't have to have the ending, but I like to know it's going in some, or I like to have some idea of where it's headed. There's times where, depending on what you're writing, the ending is real important. I think endings are really important. But never force it, though. If you can't quite get it, think of where you kind of want to be and just leave it flexible until you're polishing everything else. Are you making a video about Michonne sneak peeks? I'm probably going to make some type of video about the trailer. Not tonight. I might put them all in one, though. I don't know if I'm doing them separate. Do you think recent Walking Dead good reviews because it has a female showrunner? Wait, do you think recent Walking Dead is reviving good reviews because it has a female showrunner? Do you mean receiving good reviews because, well, I do think there's probably one or two out there that, sure, yeah. I mean, if you pull up like the Mary Sue or what are some of those those websites that are just straight agenda. But for the majority of them, I don't think the majority of them are agenda-driven. Some of them probably. I'm wondering what the finale of this season will be mainly about. I feel like it's got to probably have something to do with the new community they're going to. No, I didn't see that. Smilf? No. Highly recommend Westworld. Aaron Paul's in it. I got to get my HBO game on. I want to watch Outsider, yada yada yada. I just haven't done it yet. Any tips on starting movie review videos? Well, movie reviews are tricky. If you're doing older movies, it's going to be slow. If you're doing new ones, then the trick is the thumbnail. You want the thumbnail and title to grab people. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing new ones, thumbnail all the way. If you're doing older ones, or a combination of both, I would highly pick something that is broken down into a subcategory and start there. Like Friday the 13th. Do the entire series. Don't just start at some random. But again, I would need to kind of know a little more other than just simply doing movie reviews. I don't know if it's new or old. I don't know if it's short or long or in depth or just, surface level, just discussion, talking head. How well do you think the Commonwealth Strong will work on the show? I'm dreading it. It seems boring as fuck. I'm dreading it as well. How well do I think it's going to work at this point in time? I don't think it's going to work too well. Sorry, just to clarify, Video Husky is a video editing service, not software. For a monthly fee, you send them your content and comes back edited. Then you can tweak the final. I'll have to look that up. How the fuck does that work? I'm going to have to look that up. I'll look it up on my own time because, like, for example, for a monthly service to send in, is it simple edits or what? Because in the amount of time it would take me to tell someone how to edit a flaw and all, I could probably just do it myself. You know what I mean? Because it would. I mean, not really, but is it simple edits? How do they know what to edit? They don't know. I mean, they don't know what the unlimited video editing services by Video Husky. Outsource your video editing with our 3 simple step process. 1 to 2 day edits, revision. I'm going to look that up. There's got to be like a time limit, certain amount of edits in it. Is it just for cuts? I'll look into it though. Did you see Parasite? If so, because I do all my own editing fully. They shut down everything basically in New Jersey because of Corona. Yeah. Did you see Parasite? If so, did you like it? I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to see it. I'm reviewing old slasher movies like Halloween, Friday the 13th. Well, if you're doing that, then start with Friday the 13th, and every Friday, one a week. Stay consistent. Tell people next Friday it'll be uploaded, and, have at it. I know it's going to be easy to say, well, I'll just upload one a day and rock out. Well, eventually you're going to burn out and yada. I would just do it 1 a week, maybe even 2 a week to get you rolling. But stick on schedule and make sure it's polished, and don't do the same thumbnails for the whole series. Pick a nice, clear, good image that you can see when it's small. That's what I would do, brother. I thought it was a good episode. I am about to shut the stream down, though. I was just waiting to see if he replied about the video, Husky. You get the impression... Wait, I get the impression you hate it more often than not. I can't help you there, brother. That's also another part of the community that I can't wait till Flaw in Our Reviews is the main thing, and I could just take a break from Walking Dead. Mainly, like, we do, like, our zippy, do the review, we have a little fun, talk about it after, but I don't know, man. This Walking Dead community, and I think I know what the reason is. So many people have left the core viewer base right now, for the most part. They didn't leave, so they're pretty much liking it. So when you have a massive amount of people who are watching and some are in it, kind of in it, yada, 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 it's not as, like, crazy. But now it's, if you don't love The Walking Dead, people, you hate it, Like, look at Ryan, he thinks I hate it. Last week I said 18 positive things about The Walking Dead and 8 negative things. And it was nothing but comments about how I hated the episode. I said it was okay. I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it. RoboDog, 3 minutes ago with a super chat. I didn't even know that came in with a $5 dono. Ronnie, just finished the episode. The ending was dope. Let me reset that. I'm sorry, brother. I didn't even see that. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, I don't have time for that. It's when I do discuss positives and negatives. For the negatives, I like to break it down so people understand what it is that pulled me out of it. But the problem is when you break down negatives, people just think it's even bigger than the positives, which is just like, okay, people, it's like, come on, man. I think that guy bounced. I'm going to look up Video Husky, I think it's called. Yeah, I'm going to look that up, see what it is. I do have some things I do want to get done tonight, though, before I go to bed. But thank you very much for coming out. I'm going to do my best to get Dawn of the Dead done as soon as possible. Again, 20, 30 some hours of editing, so there's no way it's going to be released before Wednesday. If I do get some extra free time and I manage to get it out before then, though, oh my God. If you are interested about the Flaw in Our Reviews to continue, keep in mind we're doing Dawn of the Dead next. Then we got Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead. That's if I know Night of the Living Dead. I got a lot of positive comments, but not a lot of people clicked on the video. So if Dawn doesn't do good, maybe we'll take a break before going into Day. I don't know yet. If it does really good and we do Day and that doesn't do good, maybe we'll mix it up and get into some slashers or Halloween or something, just to try to get a little more, build a little more onto the community. I thought staying in the zombie genre would be a good fit, but you guys let me know. Definitely, if you can, check out the Patreon. Links are below if you're interested in the Flaw in Our Review style. Love how it calls me RoboDog instead of Rob Dog. Oh my God, I did do that, didn't I? It looks like RoboDog. It's tiny on my screen though. I know it's hard to tell, but it's really tiny on the screen because I got a BenQ computer monitor here. So when I have the thing up there, it's tiny letters. Yeah, check it out, Ronnie. May be helpful to you for multiple videos. Good night, brother. I'm going to look into it, but I'll be honest. I can't see any possible way how that is legit. Flat fee for unlimited editing? I don't know, man. That's like there's gotta be something where, like, can they put visuals in your thing? Because that's what I do. You know, I find how would they know what type of joke clips to add and when to add it? You get what I'm saying? That's where I'm like, how do they know what you want edited? I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm going to look into it, but off the top of my head, I don't know how that works. But if it's for simple edits, then I'd appreciate it, but I'd probably skip on it just because I don't have anything that simple. If I'm editing something, it's going to be like all out, you know? Staying with the zombie genre is not a good idea. You're going to have to pick something new eventually. No. We don't mean only in the zombie genre. We mean jump in with, because we're doing The Walking Dead, we jump in with a few zombie movies, Train to Busan, Night of the Living Dead. We do the Dead series and then jump over to slasher. We do a slasher run, jump over to Batman, do 2-3 Batman movies. I meant like that. I didn't mean like only the zombie movies. Falls on 28 Days Later is a good one. Deucen's probably living that shit right now. Yeah, and then we would come back around and do 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, for example. Go back to maybe superhero or another slasher type. Come back and do Resident Evil. You get what I'm saying? It wouldn't always be zombie, though. I know the epic hammer attack by Flyboy is going to get a flaw. Yeah? You think so? I'm going to go watch the opening minutes now. Have a good night. Thank you very much for coming out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next Sunday. 10 p.m. Good night. Good night and goodbye. Check out the Flaw in All reviews, motherfuckers. I even say in a new one, I say, night, night, motherfuckers. It's funny. Rick does.